What's up, everybody? Well, Nightmare's here. Hello, Nightmare. Evening to you. A little rough. I'm still kind of dragging my butt, trying to get stuff done, playing catch up. Didn't bother putting glasses on tonight. And I'm breathing kind of hard, so bear with me. It's because everything is just freaking out. With the old cancer sticks next week, I can't wait. I got it all planned out. Let's see if I can do it. I did it once for 2 years, so. But I got divorced, and that made it worse. So I picked it up again. Now I'm going to have to drop it again. But I hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. Enough of my craziness. And I got a good one tonight because I actually found a video of hers, an upload. I like to call them uploads. That I've never seen before. I don't know why I missed it. I don't know how I missed it. So in the honor of, it's really nice here. It's like 60. Me and Giles sat on the back porch for a while and gabbed it up. And I sat on the back porch and just kind of relaxed. And got that fall feeling. So I'm kind of going with the fall theme tonight because this is a video I don't know how I missed. And I thought I've seen them all, even the ones you don't have up anymore. So we're going to watch that tonight. It's 95. Wow. Yeah, I figured. I know out west there, it's still pretty toasty. It's nice here. Dude, you'd be in, I'm sure you're envious. It is gorgeous here tonight. Not even the bugs were bad. That's why we sat out there. But yeah, we're just chilling. Waiting to start the evening. I don't know how long I'm going to last. Still kind of up and down. Had to take a break earlier today. Then me and Pop went to the store. Came back, rushed through dinner. Kind of sat here for a while, and then I kind of went out and hung out in the back porch and just tried to chill my bones. So, but yeah, I know it's toasty out west. Yeah. Hopefully that will calm down for you. It's supposed to calm down for you guys here real soon. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Plus, we may have a hurricane coming up there through the south. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Kind of changed in a while ago. So, but yeah, there's 3 of us. I'm not in chat yet, so there's actually 3 people. Hello, folks. So yeah, I'm just babbling till we start the video, and I do hope everybody's having a good weekend. I hope everybody has a good Sunday, but I'll say it again later. Hope everybody had fun last night. Those who might be here now that was here last night. She was rambling. Well, I went down, didn't help her keep a little bit of something going on the channel. And she does miss you guys. And she's ready to get back to full swing, so that'll be good. Now, she does have a video coming out Monday. God forgive me, I forget what it is. I think it's a missing persons. But anyways, that, I believe, is at 11 o'clock Monday, I believe. So I'm sure she'll let us all know tomorrow night. She had fun at a soccer game today. So her son's first soccer game was today. So I hope she had fun. Looked like she did. That's about it. So hopefully we'll get back to normal. She is going to do Tuesday talks. So I think not this week, but probably the following week. We'll start doing those. And if she has some other ideas, she does want to stream a little bit more. So that'll be a good thing. She's trying to raise her TikTok up, and she'll do some probably live stuff on TikTok too. So let's get a rockin'. Other than that's it. That's my words for tonight. That's it. That's about all I got. But yeah, she'll have a video Monday. I should be here Wednesday. Unless something happens, but I should be here Wednesday for spooky time. And I've got stuff. I got one already ready to tell while I talk off. Then I believe Pixie, since she missed last Thursday because of me, I believe she may stream this Thursday. So we'll have to wait and see. And then, of course, we'll be here Friday, as far as I know. And then we'll go from there. And I'll be here that Saturday. And folks, if you see like uploads in her library that you want to watch as a group, just let me know. Leave it in the leave it in the comments, and I'll write it down, and I'll make one of our Gemma replays. Hello, Sassy Sniper. How are you? I hope you are good. I hope you're having a good week. But yeah, I'll be showing her a video about, I'll probably start the upload. Usually start at about 12:30. And with the way I'm feeling tonight, it'll probably be about 12:30. And hopefully I can stay in chat. I'd like to be able to stay in chat with you guys. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I don't have any problems when I'm streaming with or doing oracles. I notice my screen kind of gets fuzzy, but I got like 30 people. I got a kid upstairs running about 50 different Wi-Fi's and router. He's not only connected to it, but he's also using Wi-Fi. So, but usually I don't have too much problems. I think a lot of it's just the way StreamYard picks my feed up. Who knows? Because sometimes I think our trouble's not always our internet. Sometimes I think it's StreamYard. So I'm okay. I'm still a little huffy puppy, but I'm good. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. I really do. Yeah, well, like I said, we'll pick up about 12:30. And how are you, Sassy? You having a good week? Enjoying your day? But Sunday should be a good day. It's supposed to be beautiful here too tomorrow. And then we get warm again over the week. So I still get a little anxious coming on. I don't know why. That doesn't help either. Yeah, I still get nervous getting on here. I never know what to expect. I never know what I'm going to do. There's a lot of it. Yeah, it is a beautiful night here too. Yeah, it's real nice here. Nice and cool. This is my kind of weather right here. I like fall. I like cold anyways. My body don't, but I can't wait to go sledding. Hopefully I get a chance to go sledding. And the video we're going to be watching tonight is The Mary Bateman, The Witch of Yorkshire. And I can't believe this is like really old. This is like 3 years old. And so I thought, it's cool. It's kind of fall-like here, very fall-like here today. I'd kind of get in that fall mood and do that one. And I've never seen it. I don't know how I missed this. So I figured I'll watch it for the first time with you guys. And it's 3 years old. I don't know. And I swear I watched everything on this. I'm hanging in there. You didn't get your, it's funny, Edna, because, this is her channel. So I put notifications on the stuff too, on my own stuff, just to see if I get them. I never get them. Never. And it always cracks me up. So I understand. But see, I'm in and out of this computer a lot during the day. When I come in and take my breaks and stuff, I get on, check weather, see what's going on. Oh, you got your notification? That's cool. Yeah, I didn't. I'm here. So, yeah. But a lot of times I don't. Now, I'll get them for other people, which is really weird. I hope you're doing well, Edna. How you feeling tonight? I thought I'd check to see if you could. Yeah, I wasn't going to miss tonight no matter how I felt. I felt bad because Pixie didn't stream because of me. And I'm kind of glad I needed the rest. And I probably still do. But I can't miss you guys. I've missed you enough as it is. Good, Ed. I'm glad you are doing great. That makes me happy. I'm getting there slowly but surely. But whatever happened over the last 2 weeks, man, it slammed me hard. And me and my body's been going around really bad the last few days. I ain't going to let it put me in check. I don't like limitations. So, and I'm pretty good about taking care of myself. So this kind of got me out of sorts too. And I still have a cutoff date, so you know. Oh, I will. Hey, honey, I ain't going nowhere, believe me. If you're, I'm sorry about that, but yeah, I'm not going anywhere. My neighbor took a picture of my owl. It is a hoot owl. The neighbors call it Edna's owl. I figured it was a hoot owl. I figured he was a hoot owl or a barn owl, which are basically almost the same thing, aren't they? They almost look alike. Barn owls, I believe, are a little bigger. Thank you. Well, the white I had on probably did make me look even whiter, but I'm sure I do a little bit. Man, I was rough. No lie. And I'm still kind of shaky. But well, I no lie, I do push myself. But it wasn't all that. And then you had the domino effect with the tremors. Not ever a good mix. Just another bump in the road. I'll get over it. I'll be back to normal in about a week, hopefully. And hopefully better once I quit the coffin nails. I'm going to try to go about it right this time. Because when I quit 2 years ago, it was just too easy after getting divorced to pick them right back up again. So he sits on the fence and hollers at me. Apparently he has a nest up in the tree at the edge of the woods. I've seen him at my house. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. You know, I did tell you what my spirit animal was, right? Which shocked me because I always thought it was like a newt or a salamander because that's what I always gravitate to. Nope, I've had 3 psychics. Well, 3 people that were into that stuff tell me that an owl. Your spirit animal is an owl. I was like, what? Now that thinks he's a dragon. But it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, it's an owl. It shocked me. I was like, no way. Yeah. Who knew? Because I know my Chinese zodiac is rabbit. I am kind of a spaz, so kind of fits. And like an owl, I'm very much of a night creature. Guess I was kind of grew into that over the years, not sleeping. I'm not surprised at all. Well, I wouldn't think I'm a good messenger. I don't know about being wise, but I'm a good messenger. And I listen good. Owls are good listeners too. And that's the thing. I listen. Talk to your owl. Talk to your owl, and don't be afraid to talk to him because he does listen. Or she listens, I should say. I believe it's a female. Oh, thanks. Now you're going to make me blush. And it will show because I am wise as a ghost, so don't make me blush. But yeah, thank you. I tried. I really did. But yeah, I had people in, and they just weren't patient enough. But I also know that Michigan Rob streams at midnight too now. So no, he's been for a while, but that's all right. He's got content. I just got having fun and a video upload. I prefer to call them uploads. But thank you. And that I keep seeing that and it's driving me crazy. I didn't say things I don't mean. I know you don't, Ed. I know you don't. We've known each other for way too long. It'll be interesting if we ever meet. He might scare you really off. Don't worry, I will not have the plague. I won't bring any killer crickets. Okay. But yeah. That'd be interesting. And me and Gemma are still planning on being at Unity. So go, folks. If ever around New Jersey, come see it. Hopefully we'll be there. God willing. Yeah. Sorry about the dead silence. Like I said, I'm still kind of a little on the shaky side. What I'm worried about is whatever happened kind of messed with my throat. And I really don't want to go in there and go through that crap again. Excuse me. I hope to meet you someday soon, Ghost. I'll be protected from your... I'll be protected. I couldn't read it because I was trying not to laugh. Okay. Then I won't let you look into my eyes then. But even with me standing beside you, you still don't get up here. Or in here. In my space. I'm going to let you in a little bit. I think I have already for a lot of you. So, folks, who's watching and just getting the giggle out of me and Edna, I will start a video, an upload at 12:30. It is the Yorkshire Witch. Believe it or not, it's 3 years old. I thought I've seen everything. I've never seen this video. I don't know how I missed it. So it'll be the first time me watching it too. So I get to enjoy it with you for those who didn't see it. She is on her phone format, so it'll be interesting. Like I said, the schedule is she's got a video coming out at 11 on Monday, I believe. I believe it's missing persons, mystery and all that. I will be here Wednesday, God willing, for spooky time. I got a good one for you guys that I wanted to tell the last couple times, but me and my body. And then since I'm Dixie, bless her heart, took the night off because of me last Thursday, I think she may stream this Thursday, so we'll have to wait and see. And then, of course, Gemma and I will be here Friday for Oracles, and then I'll be here next Saturday for more Gemma's replays. Found a baby snake in the basement today. I think it was a hognose. Told my husband if you find one, that more than one. If you find one, there's more than one. We can't find any, but I'll bet there are. Usually snakes are usually very... no, I'm not. Snakes are usually very independent. They don't travel like in groups. Depending on the size of the snake, most of those eggs hatched and moved on by now. So I would doubt if there was more than one. And 2 to 1, he was down there. He probably found something to eat. There's probably food down there. Not all snakes are bad. But yeah, if you don't want them in the house, it's good to get them out. But there was probably just one. It was a baby. Yeah, there's probably a big chance that it was hiding. Something scared it. You can check and keep your eyes peeled, but 2 to 1, he was probably the only one. But you might find another one, but I doubt it. I don't sense snakes. Now, the crickets, maybe, but not snakes. Snakes are not my thing. I don't mind snakes. Actually, my favorite snake is a king cobra. Not only because I had to do a report on king cobras when I was elementary school. For some reason, it stuck with me. Now, they don't scare me. The snake, are you kidding? Oh, yeah, I still catch them. I freaked my son out. I was over here, right behind my room here, and I'm facing the backyard right now. So I'm looking at you, but I'm actually looking at the backyard. There's a window right here. There's a shed out there. I mean, I found a gardener snake. That sucker had to have been almost a foot long, 1.5 feet long. He was I'm pretty sure it was a female. She was pretty hefty. Took it upstairs and showed Jazzy. He was freaking out. Get that out of here. I go, just a gardener snake, dude. What are you worried about? 30-year-old man running from a snake. Yeah. We like to get down south, down at the cabins in Athens and Logan. We used to catch the rat snakes. They're cool. And they're quick. But you don't want to hurt them because that's what they're there for, is eating the rodents and keep the population down. That's because they like you. Well, yeah, the weather's starting to change. That's true. I'm right next to a field. Yeah. Are they farming? Is it a plowed field or is it just like a meadow? I know when the farmers plow, when we lived up in Sunbury, everything would come out of those things. Is it probably the mice? Oh yeah, for sure. Catch them and send them back to the field. Yeah, that's what you do too. It would just keep them down. It's what they're good for. I mean, unless you live in Australia where everything's poisonous. That's like I was watching this video today. This lady's freaking out because this little tiny scorpion's crawling across her bed and her son's getting ready to smash it. I go, well, first of all, you want to get rid of, because the smaller they are, the more venom, the more powerful the venom. Usually the bigger they get, the not as strong. I mean, there's other species of scorpions that are pretty venomous. But most scorpions are the most venomous when they're small, when they're babies. Yeah, that's true too, Sassy. Everything in Australia will kill you. Man, and in what's that? New Zealand and not New Zealand, but the you know what I'm saying. But yeah, Australia is the whole. My brother Mike was in the Navy. He did a tour down in Australia. He said, yeah. He said everything's big, everything's mean, everything bites. You look for the shape of the head and the eyes. Yeah, you usually do. The Amazon. Oh, yeah. Well, like there's stuff in the Amazon they didn't know yet. They're still finding species in that place that they've never seen before. Especially when it comes to bugs and insects. Well, insects and stuff like that. Spiders. If the head's bigger and pointy, it's usually venomous. Oh, okay. Grandma Leg taught me that. Well, all I know when it comes to scorpions, they're an interesting creatures anyways, but I was always told the smaller they are, the more venomous they are. That's like some spiders, like some house spiders. The smaller they are, they're a little more venomous because, protecting themselves. But as they get older, they're not so much. See, that's what I got bit by when I was a kid with a copperhead. Yeah. Wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant. Thank God they had aiming venom with them. Yeah, they actually were prepared for that kind of thing. I was flipping logs over. Ding dong me. Boom. I was it. Then I never seen my uncle react so fast. Man, that thing was dead. He had me on the ground. They were doing their thing. Went to the hospital. Hospital was like, thank God you carry Anaven with you. No, he was somebody I curled up and trying to dump me. Oh, they don't like. They don't like being scared or trapped. But yeah, I freaked it out. I think it was my fault. Well, ding dong me. They kept telling me, watch flipping logs over. You don't know what's going to be underneath one. Yeah, I should have been. Yeah, I was looking for newts and salamanders. That was well ago. Many moons ago. But I'm sure you've had your moments too, Edna. Yeah, my brother said it is beautiful. It's crazy. It's crazy beautiful. But he says, man, it's true. Everything. But see, yeah. And that's a true statement too. Sometimes the most beautiful things in the world are most deadly. My dad wanted to go, and my brother Mike goes, well, I'd love to take you, Dad. But the thing is, you literally have to watch your back in Australia. He said, even in the city, these things get in the cities. So they're everywhere. They're mean, they're big, and they bite. And you're lucky to get to a hospital fast enough. I think he said he got bit by something down there that messed him up for like a day. He was stuck on the ship for like 3 days. But he said it is beautiful. He says another thing is everywhere you go, it's like Florida. There's crocs everywhere, and most of the outback. And he said some of those suckers. He said the ones in Australia make the Florida ones look like babies. But I don't know. Florida's getting pretty bad. I'm almost afraid to say it, but everything is going my way. Everyone around me is having problems. Even my dog is sick. No, you're good, Edna. Oh, is that why you had? Yeah. Aw. Yes, Yowie is in Australia. That's right. That's when we need Ryan here. When we start talking. He's my man for that. No, Edna, that's good though. My problems I knew was going to happen because I was even trying to slow myself down about a month ago because I was just cranking out. I was trying to do 20 billion things at once. I should have known better. When I tried to slow down, I didn't slow down fast enough. And then I did slow down, but I didn't slow down long enough. And then it got hot and I had to work outside. I had to get stuff done. And it was my fault. I admit it. I have a piece about me, Ghost. That's good. And that piece is good. Keep that. Hold it tight. You're meant to have it. Yeah, well, that piece is there for a reason, isn't it? And why all hell is breaking loose. It's right now, that piece is there helping you maintain. And that's what you need to do. Maintain. Keep the peace. Stay calm. Believe me. Despite all the craziness I've been through the last 2 weeks, and I've had my days, this has still been good. I've had one day where I was a little on edge. That was Wednesday. Nobody should have been talking to me Wednesday. I had enough. My body wasn't cooperating. I was done upset. I didn't want to be like that. I had things to do. Got no time to be messy. Yeah, you said that, Edna. Oh, no, I didn't know that. Friends got some trouble. Oh, now the dog kidney stones, they will pass. Just keep an eye on her or him, whatever it is. My friend's grandson's in trouble. All kids are in trouble at one point or another, Edna. Unless it's bad. But it can still be fixed. He's young. Or they're young. Yeah, he will be. I'm surprised they didn't give him something to help him dissolve them, because they can do that for dogs. I just don't know how expensive it is anymore. Some of that stuff for anybody is expensive anymore. So now this is really bad. Yeah, it'll be okay, Edna. Just how can I put this that you understand? You're at peace for a reason. And it's your job right now to help the other people find peace again and help them through their troubles. And if you can't deal with all that, that's okay. Don't worry about it. You can only deal sometimes with only one thing at a time. So deal with the one things that are the most important first and work your way down. Stay cool, stay calm. Keep your peace. That's why you're like that right now. Stay calm. And then you're a smart lady. You'll be okay. And the people around you, They have different paths. They have different things in their lives that you may help them through, may not help them through. Okay? You got to understand that. I had to understand that a long time ago. Sometimes it may not be even your job to do something for somebody. It may be somebody else's or their own. Just be there for them. That's why you have this peace. You got to maintain that sense of calmness. He's been to the vet twice. They should have given him an antibiotic. Yeah, they should have. When you saw him, I was kind of pissed. Yeah, they should have. Usually, too, they give them something to help dissolve that, which is weird. They didn't give you any advice. Just let him pass him. Let the puppy pass him. That's kind of harsh. But it's also natural. Just keep an eye on him. Did they tell him to keep him flushed with water? Give him water and stuff. Keep him a lot of water out for him. Sometimes Gatorade and stuff like that helps too. So, but you don't want to give a dog too much of that stuff because it can make him sick. So, always seek advice. Honestly, this whole NDE rewired me. I feel okay with the gifts now. I bring it on attitude. And that's the way it should be. Honey, my NDEs, every time something happens, even when I'm pretty sure I heard hell, I may have saw it and just don't want to talk about it, but let me tell you, every time I came back, I was different. Things were different. So I know where you're coming from. Believe me, I do. Honey, you've got so much more in store for you. Wish I could tell you all. I wish I knew all of it, but all I can tell you is just hang in there. There's a reason for everything. And there is. Oh, we dropped down at 2 people. I'm sorry, but we are going to get going with the video. That was scary. He wouldn't eat or drink. Yeah, and don't do that. That's because of the stones. He screamed when he touched him. Hate to see him this way, but he's on pain meds, muscle relax. Just give him time to work. If he's on that stuff now, give him time to work. Animals are funky critters. They're not like us. I'm going to leave. Oh, you're fine, honey. You know I'm here. I may be slow at sometimes. It's like I told her tonight, Gemma tonight. I may be slow. Sometimes my hands get full too. But once I get the message, I act with haste. So know that, okay? Sometimes my own body gets in the way, like it has the last 2 weeks. We got, but because it'll help flush the stones out. Just be patient with him. How old is he? I guess I should have asked that first. Is he an older pup? Oh, it is 12:59. People getting anxious. Yeah, I'll get ready to start the video. I want to find out how old Edna's dog is, and we'll start the upload because I haven't seen this one yet, and I'm a little ashamed of myself. He's only 3, and he's a Westie. Okay, give him time. You may have, once he gets rid of the stones, you may have to change the diet. So prepared. Because sometimes the stones are a sign of a diet that may not be working for them. A lot of vets don't tell you that. So consider that once he gets rid of the stones. So yeah, he's a good age. Heck, Puff, our dog, we realized the other day, man, time flies. But he's 12 years old now. He's almost caught up with my dad. I wonder why he hangs around with Dad more than anybody. Crap. And me and Josh looked at each other and we were like, holy crap, he is that old. He was a runt, and his shots almost killed. Yeah, see. So his kidneys could be weak. Yes, we have to change his diet to one for urinary problems. Okay. Now, so we changed Puff's diet. We get him a refrigerated food now, and it's made a big difference. And have you ever heard of rough greens? It's a thing they make for dogs you put on the food. I highly suggest that. Made a big difference in Puff. Big difference. Never had a sick dog. Yeah, see, our old dog Mitzi, we had a toy man Chester. It looks like a Chihuahua, but they were called Toyman Chesters, if I get that right. She was a great dog. She tiny little thing. Man, she had kunas too. A neighbor had an Irish Wolfhound next door, and that little dog would, every time my mom would get up to the fence and that Irish Wolfhound would plop its paws up on that fence, that little dog would jump up high enough to bite him in the nose. But she lived longer than she should have. I mean, they felt bad when they finally had to put her down because I think she was almost 17 when she passed, when they had to put her down. Dogs getting human diseases. They get stuff that, like, we can pick up certain things from them, and I'm sure they can pick up certain things from us. I actually believe somebody told me they can even catch a common cold from us, but I don't know. You have to really research into that. I'll have to ask one of my friends. They're a vet. In fact, daughter's a vet, is going to be a vet too, and they both graduated from Ohio State. So I'll have to get a hold of her and ask her. I know, that's a good question. Yeah, Puff's a little guy, and he does have a big ego. We call it little man syndrome because all the big dogs he laughs at little dogs and big dogs. You can see him puff up. It's hilarious. But see, he's part pit, but he looks like a basset hound. It's weird. But he's a short little guy. I mean, his legs, they're not very big at all. His front legs are like jacked up. It's wild. That's funny. But yeah, just be patient with him. Give the medicine time to work. Keep pushing the fluids. Sometimes like a warm bath. Did they tell you that? Sometimes, just setting him in a warm bath. Not a hot bath, but like warm bath. And just kind of wash him down with warm water. Sometimes will help him relax. So think about that too. Vets aren't like they used to be. No, they're not. I asked if you could give him pumpkin and it helps break up the stones. She was shocked. Shocked that I knew that. Yeah, they do. Now the lady I know and her daughter, they're the type of vets that work on farms and stuff. I mean, she works on all animals, but she's what you would call a farm vet. Her specialty is, barnyard animals and stuff like that. And she's good at what she does too. I'm sure her daughter will be just as good. They love animals. Their dad was a rodeo star down south. Well, I wouldn't say a star, but he did the rodeo and was raised on a farm. They were all raised on farms. They suggested cranberry pills. Some dang thing, human mistake. Same thing. Actually, they give us prednisone. They give dog prednisones too. Now, when it comes to certain medications, yes, there are medications. Like when Puff ripped his toenail out, one of his claws out, he ripped his claw, his toenail. They actually had him on gabapentin. So yeah, I mean, you would be surprised the human medications that can go back and forth between human and animal. Yeah, it was a bloody mess. We were freaking out because we couldn't understand where the blood was coming. I mean, he was bleeding, just pouring blood. And he was acting all cool about like, "What's up, dude? It went fine." And they were just pouring blood, but we couldn't tell if he cut his foot. And then I found his toenail, his claw, in the carpet. And apparently, when Giles did his toenails, we missed one, and so he had like a long one, and it got caught. It just ripped right out. It even made me go, "Ouch." Some of them do. Some of it, I'm sad to say, are just in it for the money, Edna. You know, I hate to say that, but there are good ones out there. Oh, I imagine it must have hurt, but he was really good. We were a little concerned because he's not, I wouldn't say he's not sociable. He's good with people when we're around, but we do worry about, certain situations. I mean, he was in that bed. He didn't fight him, nothing. He let them take care of him. Heck, in fact, when the doctor came back to the room, he greeted her like she was his best friend. So, yeah. But yeah, I know it had to hurt when he did it. It had to hurt when he did it, and I'm sure it was stinging pretty bad. But he took it like a champ. I mean, but you can't. Animals don't see and don't, I wouldn't say they don't feel pain like us, but because we don't know what actually goes on. But it was obvious he was hurting there for a bit. But I mean, shoot, after I played around trying to figure out what had happened with his foot, his paw and everything, it was crazy. Yes, that's another thing. And now they tell you the best thing you could do. Yeah, well, they don't hide their pain. Their unconditional love overrides it. They worry more about you than you worry about them. No, I shouldn't say it that way. They worry a lot about you and how you feel and everything. That's why animals take the abuse they do. Is because all they understand is you're their master, you're their caretaker. And yeah, they'll hide it. But they don't really hide it. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But let me get this video started, this upload. And let me make sure I can come back into chat when I do this, because I do want to get it going. I kind of want to see it. Like I said, I've missed this one. So we can keep talking, Ed. Just give me a minute. I do want to get the video rolling because that's what this is all about. And let me get it up here. Because I can't believe I missed this one. It just freaks me out. Oh, stop. Why did you do that? Okay. There we go. Move it over here real quick. No, stop. Okay. Yes, play the video. I'm going to. It'll bring people back. Okay. Screen share. There we go. Let me put me down to the bottom where I belong. Hidden away. Yeah, this is the old one, 3 years. I can't believe I missed this. Okie dokie. Ready? Make sure you can let me know you can hear this, because I was having some audio problems the other night. So make sure you let me know you can hear this, okay? And we're going.
Back to my channel, and if you're new here, just welcome. My name is Gemma Jade, and before we get to today's case, I just want to remind you that in the last true crime video that I posted, which was Jessica Boynton, I'll put it right here.
You may have to turn up your volume a little bit, because a couple of these, the volumes are real low.
Video, please go and watch it, and you can decide if you think that justice was served in this case. And if you don't think it was, please take a minute or two to sign the petition to get the case reopened for Jessica. Also, my Corinna Slusser video, guys, I posted a few weeks ago. I'll put it right here. There's a chance Corinna is still alive. We need to share that video as much as we possibly can to get the word out about her. There's a really good chance she's alive and she's been sex trafficked. With all that being said, let's get into today's case, the case of Mary Bateman, aka the Yorkshire Witch. Mary Bateman was born in Yorkshire, England in 1768. Her father was a farmer and her mother a homemaker, and they were very well respected in the community. They were not upper class by any
Yeah,
means,
the
but they did
sound on
have
this is
money. They did
not
make
the
a good
best
living.
because they are really
From a
low.
very young
I've got
age,
everything
Mary
cranked all
stole
the way up.
random
Sorry
things.
about that talking over.
She definitely had
If you need me to start
kleptomania.
it over again, folks, I can.
Mary
Yeah, I
would
will.
steal things that she didn't even need
Hold on.
most of the
Let me
time,
start
things
it
that her
over.
parents could pay for,
And you guys can
and
adjust your
somehow
sound.
she always avoided getting in trouble. I mean, she was just a little girl. When Mary was
Yeah, because you may have to adjust your sound. Yeah, because it is real low. I didn't realize that until just now on mine. And I do. I have everything cranked up. Okay, here we go. Let's give it
I
another
just
shot.
want to remind you that
Yeah,
in
it's
the
very
last
old.
true crime
3 years
video
old,
that
Edna.
I posted, which was Jessica Boynton, I'll put it right here. I did not post the link in the description for the petition at change.org. If you haven't seen the video, please go and watch it, and you can decide
3
if you
years old.
think that justice was served in this case. And if you don't think it was, please take a minute or
Maybe
two to
because
sign the
she's using
petition
her
to get the
phone
case
too.
reopened for Jessica. Also, my Corinna Slusser video, guys, I posted it a few weeks ago. I'll put it right here. There's a chance Corinna is still alive. We need to share that video as much as we possibly can to get the word out about her. There's a really good chance she's alive and she's been sex trafficked. With all that being said, let's get into today's case, the case of Mary Bateman, aka the Yorkshire Witch. Mary Bateman was born in Yorkshire, England in 1768. Her father was a farmer and her mother a homemaker, and they were very well respected in the community. They were not upper class by any means, but they did have money, they did make a good living. From a very young age, Mary stole random things. She definitely had kleptomania. Mary would steal things that she didn't even need most of the time, things that her parents could pay for. And somehow she always avoided getting in trouble. I mean, she was just a little girl. When Mary was 13, her parents forced her into domestic servitude as a job. They were hoping that she would grow up a little bit, that this would kind of teach her the value of a dollar, and that it would get her to stop stealing things. Maybe give her some responsibility. Unfortunately, this only worked for a little while. Mary did really great as a domestic servant, but the problem is her kleptomania eventually reared its ugly head and resurfaced, and she started stealing from her employers. This happened 5, 6, 7, 8 times. She just kept stealing from her employers. So eventually, after being fired so many times over and over again, she ended up with a really bad reputation for being a kleptomaniac, for being a thief who steals from their employers, and she eventually, by the time she was 18, was unhireable. Unfortunately, word really got around, got to get good help. Because of her bad reputation in her hometown and her inability to find work, Mary moved to Leeds. Here in Leeds, she found a job as a dressmaker, and she was super talented at this. She was very adept with the needle. She did really, really well. The problem was she did not make the kind of money she was hoping to make. She wanted to be rich, but she didn't want to put in much work. So Mary decided to supplement her income by being a fortune teller. When she was just 24 years old, Mary met a man named John Bateman, and within 3 weeks of knowing each other, the couple got married. They ended up having 4 children, but even being domesticated, being a wife and a mother, did not stop Mary's kleptomaniac habit. She continued to steal from neighbors, from friends, from shops, anything she can get her hands on, random objects, things that she was able to pay for, things that she didn't need. It didn't get better, it got worse. The family had to move a lot, as this is how Mary avoided any kind of arrest or prosecution. And it ended up that some people thought it was just speculation because remember, she was still doing her fortune telling. Why would people come to her if they thought she was some kind of a fraud? Well, because she had never been arrested or prosecuted, and therefore there was no proof. Eventually, though, her husband did tire of this. He tired of her constant stealing, of bringing a bad name on the family. Her bad reputation meant their bad reputation. John eventually, after a while, after moving so many times and after seeing that Mary was pretty much either unable, unwilling, or both to change, he went and got himself a job that required him to be away from home for sometimes months at a time. And I don't know what this job was, but it was something that required him to be away for very long periods of time. And this left Mary alone and responsible and financially responsible for their small young children. That's got to be a lot of weight on her shoulders. And she already was into get rich quick schemes, right? So Mary gave up her job as a dressmaker and decided to become a full time fortune teller. In 1789, Mary moved to a different area of Leeds and she really started putting all of her efforts into her fortune telling. She was now claiming that she had, quote, supernatural powers, end quote, and she specialized in medicines and potions that would, quote, ward off evil spirits, end quote. She claimed she can cure all kinds of ailments and diseases. There was nothing that she couldn't handle. Obviously, this was a way for Mary to swindle people out of their money without actually looking like she was doing so. And she didn't have to move as much because she could avoid arrest by getting the people to trust her. Again, it was only speculation and rumor that she was a swindler, a thief, a shyster, a kleptomaniac. She had never actually been caught, charged, prosecuted, or jailed for it. There was no proof. And this is why people continued going to her. Plus, she moved again. In 1803, Mary sold some of her medicine to two sisters. The two sisters came into Mary's shop and told her that they were suffering from some kind of very severe ailment, which doctors think today was now some form of the common cold, like influenza or something like that. The two women asked her for enough medicine for themselves and their mother, whom they lived with, and was also suffering from the same ailment. Mary visited them and gave them the medicines and told them to take it and just wait it out. All three women died in very short order, and the first thing Mary did was make her way to their house to rob them blind, essentially. This is how she was making her money. She would bring in, sure, some kind of sum from the fortune telling and witch doctoring and healing, but most of it was stealing from her deceased victims. This was Mary's known first kill. So, anyways, as Mary was entering the two girls and the mother's apartment after they had died, the neighbors who knew of Mary's reputation as a swindler and a shyster confronted her and asked her what she had given the girls to take themselves and give to their mother because it seemingly had caused them to die. Somehow, Mary talked her way out of this and told the neighbor that they had bubonic plague, and she had informed them that it was one of those things that she wasn't sure she can handle for the money that they were giving her, but they insisted that they believed in her and they were willing to try anything. And unfortunately, for the money given, the medicine she gave them, it just wasn't enough. Miraculously, this appeased the neighbor and they asked no more questions. They didn't call the police, and Mary was able to slip into their house, steal their items, get away with them, and sell them in short order very quickly. After this, Mary decided that she definitely came a little bit too close to having the cops called on her and being held accountable for what she was doing. She decided that she was going to tell people that she was working under someone else. So she was going to create this alias as a goodly and supernatural fortune teller and potion seller. That way, if anything happened and it led back to Mary, she can say, I was working for so and so. It wasn't me. I had no idea. So, everyone Mary consulted with, she would tell them that she would have to take their information and what they needed back to Mrs. Moore, and they would have to await instruction from Mrs. Moore, and it would be delivered through Mary, including payment. This worked for a little while, but by 1806, people started getting suspicious, wondering why nobody except Mary had ever seen, spoken to, or anything like that from Mrs. Moore. Nobody had ever seen or heard from her. This is when Mary decided once again to pick up and move to a different part of Leeds, where she took on the alias of Miss Blythe. This is right around where Mary met a wealthy couple named Rebecca and William Paragon. Mary was an acquaintance of one of the Paragon's nieces, and because Rebecca had dizzy spells and she feared that she was being haunted by a large black dog amongst many other spirits, so obviously some mental illness there. Rebecca and William had gone to a regular medical doctor of the time, but he had told Rebecca and William that Rebecca was possessed by an evil spirit and needed a spiritualist, a fortune teller, something like that, that there was nothing he could do. This is when the niece introduced the couple to Mary. Mary couldn't believe her good luck. Remember, this woman was a career criminal. She now had the opportunity to pull a long con on somebody. Imagine the payments she could demand for Miss Blythe helping to heal Rebecca. Mary met the couple. The couple believed in and liked her, and they really felt they had no choice since their medical doctor told them that this is what they needed. The first thing Mary informed William that Miss Blythe had asked for from them was one of Rebecca's undergarments. And the reason Miss Blythe needed this undergarment is because she needed to feel Rebecca's energy off of it. It's what Rebecca slept in, and that's the main time that she thought she saw these spirits. So she needed it in order to kind of assess what was going on with Rebecca and in turn give Mary the proper medication or the proper potion or the proper whatever to help heal her. William and Rebecca had no problem with this at all, and they immediately gave Mary one of Rebecca's undergarments. Mary informed William that he would have to come to her house weekly to await word from Miss Blythe until all of this was over. William dutifully obliged, sheerly, I'm sure, out of desperation in wanting to help save his wife. And so it went, week after week after week. The first week, when William showed up at Mary's house for word from Miss Blythe, Mary told him that Miss Blythe had given her 4 guinea notes and some gold coins. She was to take one of each guinea note and a couple of the coins and sew them into silk satchels, which would then be sewn into one into each corner of Rebecca's 4-post bed where she slept. All William had to do in return was give Mary 4 new guinea notes and some new gold coins so that she can send Miss Blythe back what she had given. So this one was kind of a freebie, I guess, to reel them in and earn their trust. William did it without hesitation. Remember, Mary was very skilled at sewing. She was a dressmaker. She was very adept with that needle. She sewed these guinea notes into the satchels and the satchels into the bed with no problem at all, very quickly, and collected the 4 guinea notes and coins from William and supposedly sent them back to Miss Blythe. William was instructed to return the next week to Mary's place and await another letter from Miss Blythe. He was told that after he followed the instructions of each letter he was to be receiving, he was to burn the letter and tell no one what he was doing, as it would bring bad luck if he did not follow these instructions. After another week or two, when William showed up to Mary's place, she showed him a letter from Miss Blythe telling him he had to nail 2 horseshoes on top of the door to the bedroom on the inside where Rebecca was sleeping, which he did. I think the reason that Mary or Miss Blythe wasn't asking for any kind of payment right away was to see if William would follow her every direction without question before she started requesting payments, larger things. And it worked like a charm. William burned the letter about the horseshoes, and the very next week he was asked to provide some cheese and 1 guinea note to Miss Blythe through Mary. He gave it to Mary, and Mary supposedly sent it along to Miss Blythe as payment. Rebecca at this point was not getting any better, but she wasn't getting any worse either. So it was kind of easy when you're desperate for your wife to feel better, and when you're the wife and you're desperate to feel better, to hang on to that hope. Miss Blythe would write in the letter each week something to the effect of, "Don't worry, she will get better. It's coming, but it's a slow process. These are really dangerous spirits." After sending the guinea note and cheese, William received another letter from Miss Blythe requesting that he send very small quantities of fine china, real silverware, and sugar. He gave it to Mary, and she sent it along to Miss Blythe. And so it went, week after week, letter after letter, request after request. The requests did get bigger and bigger, though, as one of the final ones was Miss Blythe requesting a brand new bed, sheets, comforter, pillows, all that kind of stuff to replace her bed that she was currently sleeping in, because she said she was now not able to sleep and being haunted by the spirits that were previously haunting Rebecca. They were coming to her now because she knew they were trying to exorcise. She was trying to exorcise them, and William did it. He sent along really expensive bed, all the bedclothes, the complete works he gave to Mary to send along as payment to Miss Blythe. Once again, William burned the letter with the bed request. Eventually, a letter came to William through Mary from Miss Blythe, and the letter told William that an illness was coming to his house that was going to affect either one or both of the family. So it would either affect just one of them or both of them together. William was instructed to just ride out this illness, as this was the exorcism of the spirits. After this illness passed, it was all going to be over. Rebecca was going to be cured, and Miss Blythe would be on her way as she had helped the young couple. Further instructions were given to William that he was to take the honey and medicine mixture that Mary had given him, that had come from Miss Blythe, and bake it into puddings. The couple were to eat one pudding each night for 6 nights. And if they got a little sick or a lot sick, no matter what, they were not to call a medical doctor. They were not to call anybody. They were not to leave their house. Again, this was just the spirits passing through and finally getting ready to move on so Rebecca could be back to her old, non haunted self. They were to destroy any of the pudding that was left, and no one else was to eat the pudding. And this time, it was on the final night before the last pudding was to be eaten that William was to
One second, folks. I don't know what I did. Hold on. That was weird. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Get you going again. I can't believe I did that. That was wild. Just leave it to me to screw it up. I told you I was having a rough time. Okay. Won't take long to find it. You got to get to where I need to be. I am so sorry about that. That was weird. Come on, come on. Poor folks, I am so sorry. I knew I shouldn't have just stayed away from it. It was playing so good. Okay, 1 sec. We'll get it going again. Man, it's way down at the bottom here, so give me a second. I still can't get over the fact that I have never seen this one. It just blows my mind. I'm probably going to have a bad feeling there might be a couple of these I may have missed and didn't even know it. Okay, we're getting there. There it is. Okay, let me get you sharing here. Okay, get it up here. Why is it? There we go. Stop.
so you're probably
I'm going to rewind it for you guys.
at this point, right?
Back. Oh, we went way up there. I'm going to take it back to about 12. Sorry about that. How much did I miss here? Okay, we're going to take it to 12. We'll take it to 13. There we go.
Desperate to feel better.
So sorry about that.
Hope. Miss Blythe would write in the letter each week something to the effect of, "Don't worry, she will get better. It's coming. It's a slow process. These are really dangerous spirits." After sending the guinea note and cheese, William received another letter from Miss Blythe requesting that he send very small quantities of fine china, real silverware, and sugar. He gave it to Mary, and she sent it along to Miss Blythe. And so it went week after week, letter after letter, request after request. The requests did get bigger and bigger, though, as one of the final ones was Miss Blythe requesting a brand new bed, sheets, comforter, pillows, all that kind of stuff to replace her bed that she was currently sleeping in, because she said she was now not able to sleep and being haunted by the spirits that were previously haunting Rebecca. They were coming to her now because she knew they were trying to exorcise. She was trying to exorcise them, And William did it. He sent along really expensive bed, all the bedclothes, the complete works he gave to Mary to send along as payment to Miss Blythe. Once again, William burned the letter with the bed request. Eventually, a letter came to William through Mary from Miss Blythe, and the letter told William that an illness was coming to his house that was going to affect either one or both of the family. So it would either affect just one of them or both of them together. William was instructed to just ride out this illness, as this was the exorcism of the spirits. After this illness passed, it was all going to be over. Rebecca was going to be cured, and Miss Blythe would be on her way as she had helped the young couple. Further instructions were given to William that he was to take the honey and medicine mixture that Mary had given him, that had come from Miss Blythe, and bake it into puddings. The couple were to eat one pudding each night for 6 nights, and if they got a little sick or a lot sick, no matter what, they were not to call a medical doctor, they were not to call anybody, they were not to leave their house. Again, this was just the spirits passing through and finally getting ready to move on so Rebecca could be back to her old, non-haunted self. They were to destroy any of the pudding that was left, and no one else was to eat the pudding. And this time, it was on the final night before the last pudding was to be eaten that William was to burn the letter. So obviously, we know Mary was planning on getting them to poison themselves, probably to death, so that she can rob them blind. Okay, so you're probably all thinking exactly what I am at this point, right? How is this couple, these grown adults, not seeing what's right in front of their face, what Mary is obviously doing to them? I mean, it's very obvious, right? The thing is, you have to remember their medical doctor told them to go and see someone like Mary. Their medical doctor, who was supposed to be a man of science, told them that he could not help them and that Rebecca was possessed by evil spirits. They were desperate for Rebecca to feel better. She was always dizzy. She couldn't get out of bed. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I definitely think there was some mental illness going on there, maybe some form of schizophrenia, the hallucinations. I don't know, but I know there was some kind of mental illness there. And unfortunately, a career criminal saw the opportunity to pull long con and play on this couple's desperation. And that's exactly what Mary did. I also want you guys to keep in mind that in the late 17 and early 1800s, many people still very strongly believed in witchcraft and fortune telling. This was not something that was really looked down upon by most people. Most people really believed in it, and a lot of people hired fortune tellers and potion makers and, witches to help them with whatever they needed help with, including sicknesses. Anyways, it was the 6th day of the pudding eating when Rebecca fell severely ill, and William fell ill as well, but not quite to the extent that Rebecca did. They noticed the pudding tasted funny, but they figured that was just the medicine and they needed to eat it. They needed to get through it to exorcise these spirits. They didn't call a medical doctor. Rebecca laid there with cramps, with her body feeling like it was on fire, vomiting, her skin burning, just the worst pain you could possibly imagine, while William looked on, hopeful that it would pass and his wife would be cured. Unfortunately, Rebecca died. William, however, did not. This is when he finally decided to consult a doctor and started becoming suspicious. Autopsies were not automatically done back then, and there couldn't be one done on Rebecca by this point because I believe she was already buried. I don't know exactly why, but the doctor William consulted right away suspected that Rebecca and William had both been poisoned. William had not destroyed the pudding nor the letter from Miss Blythe because right after Rebecca died, he had immediately seen kind of what was going on and his eyes were open, unfortunately too late. There was forensic testing done on the pudding, and it showed that there was a poison in it that was 50 to 100 times stronger than arsenic. Within a day or two, when William was no longer eating the pudding, he felt 100% better, eventually recovering from any and all ailments that the poison in the pudding had caused. Remember, Rebecca was much weaker physically and mentally, which is the reason that they went to Mary in the first place. William also decided to check the four corners of Rebecca's bed for those guinea notes that were sewn into the silk satchels. He had a sneaking suspicion that they had been conned and didn't know what he was going to find. He very quickly opened up the satchels after, ripping them out of the bed, and sure enough, in each of the four satchels was cabbage leaves and copper coins. William was furious and decided at this point to go to the constable. The constable told William that he needed to call Mary up to get further evidence. He was to tell Mary that he still was not feeling well and he needed more medicine from Miss Blythe. Mary told him to return in a week's time and she would have exactly what he needed to make him feel better. She gave her condolences for Rebecca's death and they moved on. The next week, William showed up to the meeting place to meet Mary, but before she could say or do anything, the constable came out of the woodwork, searched her, and found an oatmeal mixture that contained the same poison that was in the pudding. She was going to give this to William, tell him to mix it into something, maybe more pudding, who knows, and it was going to kill him. Mary was arrested on the spot and put in a holding cell while the police searched her apartment. In Mary's apartment or home, police found most of the items that William had given her to send along to Miss Blythe as payment. Also, a handwriting analysis of Mary's handwriting and the last letter, the pudding letter from Miss Blythe, were 100% match. Pretty impressive because I didn't even know they had stuff like that back in the early 1800s, back in 1808, 1809. Pretty cool. Mary's defense was everybody calls Shaggy. Wasn't me. Deny, deny, deny. And that's exactly what Mary did. She was a hapless victim herself. She was working for the Miss Blythe, who was now in the wind and leaving her as a scapegoat, the only person to be held culpable for the crimes of Miss Blythe. However, with the items being found at Mary's house that were supposedly the payments that were supposed to go to Miss Blythe, the handwriting analysis, the forensics that were done, toxicology tests on the pudding and on William that showed that there was poison, the toxicology tests on the oatmeal and liquid mixture that she had brought along to their final meeting showed that there was poison. The evidence was overwhelming, but Mary denied, denied. The following day, after she was arrested, Mary appeared before the magistrate and was officially charged with the murder of Rebecca Perigo. On Friday, March 17th, 1809, Mary went on trial at York Castle. When the trial was coming to the close and the jury was about to head out, the judge informed them that in order to convict Mary, they had to be 100% sure of three things. One, that Rebecca Perigo had died from poisoning. Remember, all this evidence of poisoning, yes, but was there proof? There was no autopsy done, and it was only William's word that she had eaten the poisoned pudding. The second point was the poison given to them with Mary's knowledge? Do they believe that Mary really had no idea what she was giving them and was working for this Miss Blythe or not? And the third, just because Mary was a career criminal and her reputation had preceded her, just because she was a bad person, did they believe that the poison was given with the knowledge of Mary, with the intent to cause Rebecca's murder? Did she intend to make her sick and Rebecca died? I guess that would have made a difference back then. So basically, he was talking to them about reasonable doubt, which we have here in the United States, guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. It took the jury less than 10 minutes to come back with a guilty verdict. When the judge gave Mary a chance to talk to him and to convince him as to why she shouldn't be hanged, because this was a hanging case, stealing and thievery, what she was doing without the murder, was a hanging case, but he gave her a chance to plead to spend the rest of her life in a prison instead of being hanged. And she started to cry and told him that she was pregnant, and surely he couldn't hang a pregnant woman. I guess she thought this was going to buy her some time. However, it did not. The judge ordered the courtroom doors locked and a doctor to come in immediately to examine Mary, who, of course, concluded that she was not, in fact, pregnant. The judge at this point was really pissed because she was tearful. She was crying right to his face, lying right to his face, and trying to manipulate him. He immediately sentenced her to hang the following Monday. So not only was she to hang, but her body was to be dismembered and put on display. Over the weekend, as she sat in her cell, Mary wrote a letter to the judge admitting some of her crimes, but she never confessed or admitted to any murders. Enclosed with the letter was Mary's wedding ring, which she asked the judge if he would kindly pass along to Mary's husband, John Bateman, for him to give it to their daughter on the day of her wedding. Remember her family? On Monday, March 20th, Mary was hanged in a public spectacle of an execution. Hundreds of people showed up, which I guess was normal back in those days, but even more people showed up to see Mary, to see what she would do, because a lot of people still believed that she had supernatural healing abilities, supernatural abilities, and that perhaps some form of devilish intervention from her witchcraft was going to intercede and let her not be hanged, let her not die. However, obviously that did not happen, and Mary was in fact hanged that day. Her body was put on public display for everyone to see if they paid 3 pence each. That's the sad and tragic case of Mary Bateman, the tragic case of Rebecca Perigo, and Mary's other 3 known victims. How many more people did she kill? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and please like and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Keep in mind my podcast, Strange Things with Steve Stockton and Gemma Jade, is premiering next week, where we're going to be talking about Missing 411. It's going to be awesome. Please check me out on Twitter if you haven't already. I post a lot of pictures on Instagram if you want to follow me there. And it's so good to be back, guys. I really missed you over this weekend, but I'm doing the best that I can. I want to thank you guys so much for all of your support and your love. Please be sure, again, to check out Corinna Slusser if you haven't already, and share that if you could find it in your heart. Also, Jessica Boynton, go to change.org and sign that petition to get that case reopened. It's not fair what's happening to her, having to share custody with this alleged maniac who tried to kill her and got away with it. To have that stigma of trying to commit suicide with her 2 children in the house hanging over her head. Guys, be kind to each other. It doesn't cost anything. And have your best day. Have your best night. And I'll see you soon. Mwah. Bye.
Now, what isn't it Tuesday, Ghost Tuesday? What do you mean by that? Yeah, that was an older video. What I'm going to do when I pick out a video, I'm going to have to go back and see if I can adjust the sound in the video itself and see if I can fix that, because she's using an older phone. I don't know if that was the issue, but there are a couple of her older videos and some of her newer stuff where you almost have to turn it all the way up to here. At least you could sneak around and do it, not in front of my face. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Yep, I'm counting the days, Edna. I wasn't sneaking around. This is what you were talking about. Actually, I've been really good. They told me to taper off. I'm trying to do it the logical way, not just go cold. Last time I quit cold turkey. And if this doesn't work, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to bite the bullet and go cold turkey. Oh, you're from Scotland? That's cool, Jonathan. Yeah, we have a couple people in chat from Ireland, Scotland, England, all across the Great Pond there. Yeah, the Tuesday's my quit date. Yeah, I'm going to try to do it the medicated way first. And if that don't work, I will go cold turkey. Yeah, when I went cold turkey last time, a while back ago, and quit for 2 years, the thing was I gained weight. And I'm trying not to have that happen this time because I'm actually losing weight. Because every time they give me prednisone, I gain weight. So I'm trying to lose all that now. So I'm going to try to do it the logical way. And if that don't work, then I will go bite the bullet and go cold turkey again. But yeah, I need to. I know I do. And it's my last real vice, except for one thing that I do. And that's usually because my rocking either gets so bad or the tremors get so bad I can't stand it. Sometimes it's the only thing that kind of levels me off a little bit. But that's my own real vice anymore. So it'll be interesting. I've even cut down on the snacking. Try to, I bought a bag of Lifesavers to kind of fixate it. And I think I'm going to get one of those fumes, the air ones. It comes with the little air cartridge. Yeah, I do. I snack a little bit more. But see, that's a thing, Edna, this time. My eating habits have changed a lot over the last couple of years. So that may not be a problem. I might find myself nitpicking a little bit more, but not like overeating, not like I'm just trying to shove food in replacement of the cigarette. But I don't eat like I used to. I pretty much eat like a bird now. I get, like at dinner, I make one big plate and eat that and I'm done. Yeah, I take magnesium. I also take a B12. Actually, I'm thinking about taking a probiotic. My snacks are usually pretty healthy. Every so often, I treat myself. Like sometimes you'll see me like during the streams, nitpicking at stuff. But I do that just to try to help cut down on smoking because I don't talk like I do here during the stream. So while she's doing all the talking, that's what I'm doing. I'm just feeding because I smoke the most when I'm sitting. It's usually see, I'm still having problems talking. The most I smoke is at night when I'm coming in and settling in for the evening. Yeah, my dad's getting the shots every 2 weeks. He just got one last Friday, so we'll go back in 2 weeks. I take Bill. I just take one every day. See, that's my problem too. And he smokes. He started smoking cigars again. See, my dad didn't smoke cigars for years because of my mom. When I moved in, he looked at me and my son. He goes, "I want a cigar." And I called my brother Mike. Do I get him a cigar? And Mike was like, "That's one of my older brothers." He goes, "Go get the man a cigar." Mom never let him have a cigar. Let him go have a cigar. So I went and got him a nice cigar, and he's been enjoying them off and on since. But I got him a couple good ones. There's these Romeo and Juliet that he gets. Oh man, they smell so good. And then he likes to smoke the cherry pipe tobacco. That stuff always smells real good too through the house. Now, Wednesday night. Now remember, for those who are coming and going, because I've had a small crowd tonight. So those who are kind of rotating through, I'll probably pick up again once somebody else is done streaming. Probably. Yeah, probably here real soon if they come in, if I'm not too boring tonight. We'll have an upload on Monday at 11, I believe. Just keep an eye on YouTube tomorrow because she'll probably post that in. You'll see it pop up on YouTube. And then, of course, on Facebook. I will be here Wednesday for spooky time. I do have a good one, and this time I'm going to try to make it a full story. I had to actually go back and call a couple people to kind of get things ignited because it's a good one. And there may be a couple other stories after that. Thursday, Pixie may be here because bless her heart, she didn't want me. I watch her stream in the background on Thursday. And she just couldn't. She didn't want me to be there. So she took the night off for me. I told her I'd be there. I'm just sitting in the background. I don't do nothing. But they wanted me to rest, or Gemma wanted me to rest. So hopefully she'll stream Thursday night. Then Gemma and me will be here Friday at 7:15 for Oracles. Yes, it's the 15th. How'd you know? I didn't say anything. You shouldn't know those things, Edna. You're not allowed to know those things. Yes, it's the 15th. Next Sunday. A week from today. A week from today. Yes. Yep. I'm still older than the mountains. So you must have. That's pretty good. Now, see, if I say somebody's name 2 or 3 times, in the same day, I usually can remember that name. Dates takes me a little bit of time. And then when it comes like driving around, I have kind of like a photographic memory. So a lot of my driving is based on landmarks and stuff. You're just a youngin', Ghost. I guess in some people's eyes, I don't want to make you mad, Ed. I guess I am. I'm not that much younger, though, am I? And I'm getting there. I earned it. Everything. Well, this I've had ever since I was 12. But the new stuff coming in, the wrinkles and stuff I earned. I can't say the white hair I earned because I've had it for, they come and gone out of my life ever since it all turned white. So I'm terrible with names. I blame my indigenous family. Everybody had a nickname. Usually, like I said, usually with a name, if I say it 2 or 3 times in that day, or I talk to that person a couple times in that day, I'll remember it. The dates take me a little time. If it's written down and I look at it long enough, it'll stick. I'm a little new spell child. I do. And you're not that much older. You're not. And you're a lot younger at heart than I am. You may say you're an old soul, but there's a young woman in there. She shows herself quite a bit, don't she? Just like somebody goes, but Steve, you're such an old soul. I said, yeah, an old soul with a kid's heart. That's what I am. I didn't know my Uncle Coffee was named William until the day he died. I've had relatives like that. For years. My dad is Robert W. Davis, Robert Wayne Davis. I would go into his work, hang around with these truckers with him, and they would call him Wayne, and I'm like, who the hell's Wayne? Or they'll call him Rob. I've heard him called Bob. And it's like, who are these people these guys are talking about? He's like, well, this guy calls me this. I miss the smart mouth opinionated old pride. I can be like that as an old man, too. You get to a certain age and you just don't care. My dad says he's at that age now, he can flip everybody off and they'll say, oh, he's just a crazy old man. Oh, how cute. And he just laughs. That's like why he flirts. Oh, my dad flirts with people and it's hilarious. And he gets away with it. And it's like, and we'll walk away. These girls go, he's so cute. He's so sweet. Nah, I was born this way. I think I was 2. I'm going to show some pictures of my dad when he was young. He was a good-looking guy, I gotta say. My mom got lucky with that dude. It's funny because there's a picture of him standing by his old Chevy. He's got his sleeves all rolled up and pant leg cuffs are all rolled up in his jeans. Look like some hood. And then he looked kind of cool. Almost better than Fonzie. And I just tell people, I am who I am. If you don't like it, know where the door's at. Mm-hmm. I hope everybody that's come and gone tonight had a good night and had a good weekend. Just for those who are not saying anything, we love you. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you. Just please make sure you leave a like. Leave a comment after. If there's a video you've seen that you would like to watch with this, let us know. They were all so handsome. Didn't that the truth, Edna? Yes, I totally agree with that. Got another video, Ghost? You want me to put another one? I can put another one in. I have no problem. I can do one that just like this one. Hold on. Let me pull that up. Not that no, we're good. Okay, 1 second. 1 second here. And I mean, I'm more than happy to do another one and let you guys just talk and hang. I'm cool with that. Gives me kind of a chill break here too. I hang out and chat with you guys. Let's see. Oops, that's not what you were supposed to do, ding dong. There we go. Hold on. Yeah, this was the one I was going to do for next week. If you guys want to watch that one, this one now, we can do that. I have no problem with that. Hopefully I can. I think what I'll do from now on, though, is check the sounds on these, then go into the video and see if I can boost the sound up. Some of the older ones and some of our new ones, you do have to crank the sound up on. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the one I was going to do for next week. She's got these one videos she did back 3 years ago. I call them the black labeled ones because they all have like a black kind of label to them. 1 second. It's another one that's like 3 years old. I know I've seen that one. 1 second. I'm getting there. Come on. Come on. There's the one. There's the other one. Okay. The first man that convicted of murder in America. You guys want to watch that one? Or did we watch that already? No, we didn't watch that one, did we? No, the first man. It's John Billington, first person convicted of murder on American soil. Yeah, that's an old one. Hold on, because it's 3 years old too. Let me stop. Yeah, 3 years ago. It's 21 minutes, and it's not on our phone, so the sound sounds good. Man, I didn't leave. I know I watched this one because I have the thumbs up, but I didn't leave a comment. I'm going to beat myself because I always leave a comment too. Anyways, if you guys want to watch that one, we can do that. Actually, this is a good one. I remember this one. But I'm in trouble. I didn't leave a comment on this. I want to go back and put a comment on it later tonight. But yeah, we'll do this one. Hold on. Let me do this. Yeah, this is 3 years old. The sound is a lot better. It is a full screen, so hold on. Here we go. Let me share it. And looks good. I'll start it. Let me know you guys can hear this okay. Give it a minute.
Is GemmaJade, but today we're going to be talking about
That's
the first
a little bit, but my sound's low on
murder
my
in what
computer.
is now the United States of America, and also the first person.
Can you guys hear this okay?
In New England, and that man is John Billington. John Billington was born in Lincolnshire sometime in 1580. He traveled to the New World on the Mayflower, and actually he was one of the 41 male signatures that signed
the sounds a little
Compact.
iffy on this one too.
The Mayflower Compact is a set of rules for self-governance that was established by the travelers to the New World who were on the Mayflower.
I got it cranked up.
It basically a majority.
That's how I can get it. Yeah, I'll go back and look at some of these and see if I can fix them.
Written out to stave off mutiny. If you guys want a history series where I just talk about things like that, like the Mayflower Compact, let me know. I am really into history, and I'll literally research anything that takes place before 1920. Okay, back to John Billington. There's not much that's known about John's life before he set sail to the New World. His life in England is kind of mostly, from what I can see, speculation. So I didn't really put anything in it. I know that he was kind of a con man half a thief, if you will. John and his wife Eleanor, their two sons John Jr. and Francis, set sail on September 6, 1620, on the Mayflower's third and final voyage to the New World. They had to turn back twice because of problems with another ship. It was kind of like a fleet. So those four were on the Mayflower. The ship was only 100 feet long. It carried about 102 passengers and 30 to 40 crew members, and this caused really cramped conditions. Within 2 months of setting out, the caulking that was meant to keep the water from coming into the ship was breaking off and falling into the ocean. So a lot of people that were on that ship just laid there soaking wet on the ground, extremely sick, and there was nothing anybody can do about it. And conditions were already cramped with people standing up. So now they have all these sick people laying there. It really doesn't have much to do with the story, but it was a really rough voyage. The conditions of water filling the ship, the extremely cramped conditions, the improper rationing of food, like everybody wasn't getting the same amount. Mainly the women were not getting their fair share. And desperately unsanitary conditions caused a lot of people to either get sick or die before they even reached Plymouth, Massachusetts. Their destination was Virginia, but again, that has nothing to do with the story. If you want a history series, I'll let you guys know. So they reached Plymouth, Massachusetts, and a lot of them were really sick just to begin with. This was really nothing, though, compared to how many people died during that winter. They landed there in November, and New England has some really harsh winters still to this day. And I guess without global warming, back then it had to be crazy. Plus, obviously, they don't have everything that we have. They were just getting to this new world. A lot of them died because of the winter, how harsh and cold it was. On November 21st, 1620, the Mayflower docked at the Cape Cod Hook, which is now known as Provincetown Harbor, and the Mayflower Compact was signed that very day. Now let's talk about the Billingtons. The Billington family, all four of them, very quickly became known as troublemakers in the colony, and their name appears time and again in documentation of, you know, troubles and trials that were going on for smaller things. The Billington Sea, as we now know it, was discovered by John's son, Francis, when he decided one day he just wanted to go off exploring on his own. He was looking for to discover his own sea, to name it after himself, but he actually found a little, kind of lake area, which is still, as I said, the Billington Sea. Now, aboard the Mayflower, there was a radical group of separatists called the Brownists, and this group felt that the English rule was corrupt and they wanted to establish new government. Obviously, that's why they went to the New World. And this Brownist separatist group was led by a man named William Bradford. John and his family were not a part of this group. They were four of the very few people who did not come as a part of this separatist group who thought the Church of England was corrupt. John believed he was still loyal to the Church of England. He actually came to the New World because he was escaping several creditors. He was in a lot of debt. I told you he was kind of like a shady kind of guy. He would have got along with last week's Mary Bateman very good. He was a shyster and a swindler, and he didn't want to pay his bills. And again, there's a lot more to that story on how he was able to travel to the New World. So he wasn't a part of this group led by William Bradford. And this group took up the majority of people on the ship. Most of them were these Brownist separatist people. John came to be known as a miscreant, a troublemaker, and an all around bad guy, actually, before the ship even set sail. He just wasn't getting along with people. He was irritating people. He would give these, you know, speeches that would rile people up because he was still loyal to the Church of England, and he didn't agree with these Brownist separatists who were so desperate to get out of the jurisdiction of the Church of England. So right from the door, nobody liked him and nobody liked his family. Also, while they were still aboard the ship, his son Francis gained his own unscrupulous reputation when he decided to fire his father's gun while aboard the ship, right next to a powder keg in an overly cramped room. Luckily, nothing came of that, but obviously people were pissed. They did not like this family. So imagine you're a family of four settling with over 100 people and they all can't stand you. That doesn't sound good, especially when there's basically no law established yet. So keep in mind the ship was already filling with water at this point, but luckily nobody died, nobody got blown to bits because of this, and someone actually beat the crap out of Francis, and then it was a done issue. Now keep in mind about half the population of the settlers actually died during this really harsh winter. So this brought the population of the colony down to around 50 settlers in all. Okay, so that's what was left. Once the winter was over and spring came, those that were lucky enough to be alive all kind of went off to try to discover their own parcels of land or discover things on their own. They wanted to explore this new world that they were settling in. This is when Francis discovered the sea. And while he was off doing that, his brother John Jr. got lost in the woods and ended up needing a search party. They looked for him for several days until finally he found his own way out. In March of 1621, John Billington Sr. was convicted of contempt because he was called upon to perform some kind of military duty. And instead of doing it, he instead started making inflammatory remarks about and delivering speeches against the captain of the ship, Miles Standish. Apparently, this was against the law. This was against the rules of the compact. After he was found guilty, John Sr. was actually sentenced to have his heels tied to the back of his neck, but he groveled and apologized so profusely that he basically was given a slap on the wrist. They told him, don't do that again. Otherwise, we're not going to be so lenient on you. And he agreed not to do it again. They said it because it was only his first offense and he showed so much humility. He swore he learned his lesson. In April of 1621, Governor John Carver was working in a field one day and he collapsed due to the hot weather, probably a heart attack, and he died a couple of days later. So someone needed to take his place as governor. And keep in mind, this was 1621. The governor was the highest ranking person in the New World in 1621. There was no president or anything like that. The colonists obviously chose William Bradford, the guy who ran this Brown's separatist group, who were still the majority of the settlers. And obviously, this meant some trouble for John Billington. William Bradford is known to have said, like, he did not like John's whole family because of their religious affiliation, their reputations as troublemakers, their unlawful behavior, and just their overall general attitude towards the other colonists. So the new governor, the highest authority in the land, does not like this man or his family. In 1622, four of the settlers' homes were destroyed in some kind of mysterious arson. And remember back then, a man's reputation, a family's reputation was everything. And it was how people judged if they were going to like you, if they were going to include you. And everyone blamed it on John because they didn't like him. They blamed it on him and his family, but there was never any proof to prove that. And he never ended up getting in trouble for it. And history still doesn't know whether he did it or not. If I were to wager a guess, probably he did it, but it was never proven. He never got brought up on charges for it, even though most people in the colony, most colonists, had their suspicions. In 1624, two men, one named John Oldham and one named John Lyford, were banished from Plymouth Colony because they were writing inflammatory letters saying how much they hated the colony, how wrong the colony was. Like, they were against everything these Brownist separatists stood for. So they were banished because of it. In the history books, you'll see this written as the Oldham Lyford scandal. These two men were considered, quote, a danger to the community in general, end quote. And that's the official reason why they were banished. Again, while no proof could be found, while answering for his crimes in front of the council, the people that judged if you were guilty or innocent back in that time, John Lyford accused John Billington as being an accomplice to himself and to John Oldham. There are a lot of Johns. I'm getting really confused. Once again, if Billington had something to do with all of this, he got away with it due to lack of evidence. And once again, if I were a betting woman, I would definitely bet that he did have something to do with it because they got banished for basically the same thing that he did before, that they were going to tie his heels to his neck, except that they didn't say they were sorry and they were writing it down. That's why they were banished. Also, of course, when he was questioned, he denied having anything to do with it. And right after this happened, his wife Eleanor got into her own trouble and had to face the council. Eleanor was found guilty of slander and had to submit to a public whipping as punishment. And she did. She took her punishment. She didn't grovel and cry and whine. She put on her big girl pants and took that public whipping. John's anti-government agitation and speeches continued long after Lyford and Oldham were banished. I don't know why John and his family didn't get banished too. Like I said, the only difference that I can tell is that the other two, Oldham and Lyford, were writing it down. So I don't know. John continued with his agitation towards the government and trying to get rile people up, trying to create a mutiny. In 1626, the Plymouth colony settlers received full ownership of the land and they divided it amongst themselves. They chose who was going to get what. Obviously, this is not boding well for John and his family either, because they were basically the most hated family in the entire colony. John Billington received a small house, 63 acres of land, and future land rights. I don't know what that means, but that actually was not a very good deal even for back then. 63 acres, they have this entire colony. There's not too many people left. They basically gave him what was left over. They threw him some breadcrumbs and were like, there you go. His loyalty to the Church of England, his repeated run ins with the law, he was really bitter, but I'm pretty sure this is why they did that to him. The colonists considered him irredeemable and incorrigible, so he had a very big lack of social status. And from what I read, that's how they decided who would get what, who had the highest status. So the governor obviously got the most, and then it trickled down from there, with John and his family being the low men on the totem pole, so to speak. In 1630, John Billington and John Newcomb got into an argument over the rights to hunt on land. I guess their land was right next to each other's, and Newcomb or Billington, one of them wanted to hunt, and the other one said, no, that's my land. That's the best way I can kind of explain it without getting into a huge narrative and a deep history. This isn't a deep dive. This is just one of my quick weekly historical cases. So, so John Newcomb, John Billington getting into an argument over land. I speculate it was some kind of property line dispute, but there's no real record of the cause. Anyways, right after the two were heard arguing, Newcomb was seen storming out of the colony. Like he was leaving, he was storming away. And not too long, maybe just a few minutes after, John Billington was seen basically following him, like walking off very fast in the same direction as if he were trying to catch up with Newcomb. He didn't say he was, this is what people assumed. Later on that same day, Newcomb was found shot to death, and everybody just assumed that John Billington had done it. Newcomb was found shot to death later on that day, and everybody basically accused John Billington of being the perpetrator. According to Governor William Bradford, who, remember, is kind of like mortal enemies with John Billington, he said the argument earlier in the day about the hunting rights or the property line, whatever the argument was about, that was motive enough for them to accuse and possibly convict John Billington. And he also said that the weapon, the gun, could be traced right back to John Billington. I don't know how they did this. Again, I'd have to go into like a deep dive, like history forensics. Did they have forensic back then? Did they like test the bullet? I don't know. But according to Governor William Bradford, that gun could be traced right back to that dirty scoundrel John Billington. So he was arrested and charged with murder. Soon after he was arrested and charged, John Billington was convicted of the willful murder of John Newcomb by a jury. John Billington Sr. was sentenced to hang, and he would be the first person ever to do so on American soil. The very first death sentence carried out in the good old United States of America. Now, there were some questions about this conviction, and one of them was, quote, Did the local authorities who were governing Plymouth Colony possess criminal jurisdiction sufficient to impose capital punishment? End quote. There was another governor, John Winthrop, who governed the neighboring Massachusetts Bay Colony, that William Bradford actually convinced that they did have jurisdiction, they were able to convict him, and they were able to sentence him to hang. So Bradford got Winthrop to basically be complicit in the carrying out of the first death sentence. I don't know. I just keep thinking, didn't most people back then have the same kind of weapons? I mean, what did he do? Leave the gun or the rifle or whatever laying right next to the guy that he killed? How do they know that that was his weapon? I couldn't even find how they knew when I researched this. I honestly think the fact that Billington and his family had such a bad reputation, he was such a rabble rouser, if you allow me the use of that word, and he and his family had so many run ins with the law, and he himself had so many run ins with the governor, with Governor William Bradford, that I don't even know if it really mattered if they could prove it or not. Like Bradford said, the argument was motive enough, and I think the argument was enough for the jurors to also convict him. I think the colonists just wanted him out. The argument between the two earlier in the day was enough circumstantial evidence, I guess, for them to convict him. And I cannot stand circumstantial evidence. And maybe one day I'll do a long video on that. I can go on and on about it. I know you guys love hearing me rant. Just watch one of the hot mess recovery videos. Okay, so to finish up, researchers of the Society of the Mayflower Descendants still to this day question Bradford's recounting of the trial, like how he wrote it down to be preserved throughout history. They question whether or not it's accurate, whether or not he just got rid of Billington because he didn't like him and manipulated all the people around him into being complicit. And so was John Billington in the end the real first murderer on American soil, or was it actually William Bradford because he wanted this guy gone? So he manipulated everyone else to be complicit in the crime. Just thought of that now. That's not even in my script. Nah. So anyway, John Billington was hanged not far from Plymouth Rock, and his body was buried in an unknown location. Still to this day, nobody knows where the gravesite of John Billington is. So this is how John Billington ended up the first recorded murderer in what we now know as the United States, and also the first person to be executed from having a trial by jury as well. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, if you like me, if you want to see more of Gemma Jade. Be sure to subscribe as well if you haven't already. I have so much content coming up. I have so much previous content. The podcast I'm hoping is going to be out by the end of this week, but I'm not making any promises. My higher quality kratom that I pray to God works is going to be here today. So you'll have a kratom update soon. And drop me a comment, guys. I know a lot of you like these history videos that I do, but a lot of you don't. And the way I know that a lot of you don't is they have the lowest views. The Glimmer Man has the highest views by far. I am going to start doing some more paranormal stuff. I have a couple half scripts that I'm working on to get some scare into you guys. But yeah, drop me a comment. You know, I love discussing. And if you guys want to help out me, and if you want to help out the channel, help me get some new and better equipment, new and better background, all that kind of stuff. I am doing this full time. Plus, I'm a full time stay-at-home mom. And I'm not monetized and I'm not getting paid for anything yet, not even the podcast. So if you're able to do so, and if you should feel so inclined, please click the link in the description box for my PayPal me and make a donation to the channel. It would really help me out, guys. Any little bit helps. Everything's appreciated. And if you can't, of course, I still love you. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Most of you have been here with me from the very beginning. My subscriber count is slowly rising. I just love what I do. I love doing this. I feel like there's just not enough time in the day for me to do everything that I want to. All right, guys, have your best day, have your best night. Be kind to each other. It doesn't cost anything and can actually gain you so much. And I will see you sometime during the week with the next case. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Jerky here. Wait, hold on. Let my screen readjust. That was weird. Hold on. There we go. So we got everything right. Ah, that's good. You guys can hear me all right? Everything's good, right? Every big farm had their own cemetery. Yeah, they did. Wonder what happened to them all. That's a good question. There are a few here close to me where that little cities and stuff have sectioned them off and made them kind of historical sites, which I like. But you wonder how many have just disappeared. Yes, and we have those too. Like I said, and some of them are old, so they've sectioned them off and made them like historical sites. So they some of them have actually been fenced off where you can't even get to see how old the good tombstones are off to keep people from tearing them up. Yeah, it's pretty funny. His family wouldn't bury him. Yeah, yeah, real old. Hope you're well, Ron. Thank you for coming in. I hope you're having a good weekend so far. Yeah, we showed two tonight. So if you go back and watch the replay, there is one before that too about Kate Bateman, who was the Yorkshire witch. Well, so they say. She was just a con artist, bad one, killing people, passing people on, I should say. Yeah, there are some really old stuff, and that's funny because I looked on that video, I watched it, but I didn't leave a comment, which is unusual. So I have to go back and look at some of this old stuff. I'm also going to go back and see if I can fix some of the audio on some of the older stuff, and maybe even some of our newer stuff, because I believe there's a way you can go in there and bring that volume up. Because even some of our newer videos, you have to kind of crank it up. I don't know why that happens. It doesn't. No, it doesn't seem like a Sunday today. That's because we had Monday off for Labor Day. Yeah, they're pretty good. It's nice to see the old stuff. Hey, Kay, how you doing, sir? How you doing? What you making tonight in sunny Alaska? We had turkey tonight. I was in a mood for turkey. Turkey and gravy with some biscuits and potatoes. I made brats. Yeah, I think I'm going to make steaks tomorrow. I haven't decided which ones yet. I think my son opened one of the packs and is marinating them now, so I'll have to go look to see what he put in. It's beautiful here, so I felt bad we didn't cook out, but this was a crazy day, and like I said, I am so out of whack with how I've been feeling the last 2 weeks. So they let me go easy tonight. I made one of my famous turkey casseroles, as one might say. Had fried chicken and biscuits. Great. That sounds good. My pop makes really good fried chicken. I about had a heart attack. Like, holy crap, man, why didn't you do this sooner? I don't know, Jonathan. Saw him here the first time in the chat and said hello. Yeah, sorry about that, Sassy. I don't know what to tell you. In fact, I recognize your name, but I don't recognize it. So you have to forgive me. A lot of new people have been coming and going, so you have to forgive me. And when I take the list on Fridays, so many people come and go, especially news people. So bear with me. But I'm glad you're here. I thought it was kind of funky. He kept saying all that stuff. You weren't answering him back. So, yeah, me and my body going around, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a couple weeks. So Mr. Dragons here kind of pushed himself a little too hard. Should have known better. Then out in the heat, the 2 weeks ago, and it just all caught up with me. It was my own fault. I just got to be a little aware. I'm just having a little trouble getting back to the groove again. And when you have tremors and Tourette's, and mostly a physical type of Tourette's, just like a domino effect. And I'll tell you what, you guys didn't even want to be around me Wednesday. I was not a happy camper. And I'm still having trouble talking. So just bear with me. You guys are fantastic anyways. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. And Gemma. Oh, thanks, Sassy. Yeah, you have to bear with us. And I never have seen Jonathan before. He was a new one to me. Unless he's been in before, because he said Gemma. So, see, a lot of people come in from TikTok too. And we're still getting used to, you new folks. And we're glad you're here. If there are new folks from TikTok watching, glad you're here watching. Those were two of the oldest videos I know that she's done. She's got ones that she doesn't have in the library anymore. But both those uploads were 3 years old. So, any plans for tomorrow? Not really. I've been today. I tried to get Pop out of the house. We both kind of needed to get out of the house. I'm going to try to do the same tomorrow because it's supposed to be beautiful. Go out and do a little running, kind of enjoy the day. It's supposed to be gorgeous here. And then come home. I think I'm just going to relax, do a little around the house and cook out, make these guys dinner, and just enjoy myself. Usually that's what I try to do on Sundays, but it's just been so nuts. See, Sundays are usually my day, but it hadn't had that chance for a long time. I also had fried chicken and mac and cheese. Well, I thought he was your friend, Sassy. I'm from Vermont, and he's from Scotland. So he says. You don't look as pale as you did. Yeah, I know I don't. But I think that too, Edna, I had that white hoodie on, and it probably made me look a lot worse than I did. I watched some of that replay when I was putting in Lotus's timestamp, and it was like, man, that white hoodie made me look worse than I really looked. But I was also kind of stiffed out. You could tell I was kind of serious. It took me a while to loosen up. Yeah, I feel good, really. I really do. But, it's like a domino effect. Once I get, and then try to get regain, it's just one thing after another for a while. It's just getting my groove back. I feel healthy. I mean, other than a little gaspy, and because the tremors make me contract, and so that's why I'm like, sometimes that's the way I was last night too. But I appreciate it. Yeah, I feel good. I mean, I noticed this morning when I got up this morning, I looked a lot better. Like I said, though, I'm a little jittery. I'm still having little issues talking. The tremors are a little tense, more tense than usual, but that's to be expected. I've been harvesting everything and putting it up. Yeah, that's a good thing to do. That's one thing I do miss about my ex. We grew a garden. Man, we'd grow beans. She'd grow all kinds of tomatoes and make tomato sauce, make marinara sauce. She would do the works. She would can and everything. We'd be set for almost 2 years. Like, she'd be giving stuff away because she'd make so much. I didn't make it, but I ate it. There you go. Hey, as long as I didn't have to make it and it was good enough to eat, that's what I say. I have 12 sugar baby melons. Oh, there you go. Oh, my dad would be over there. He loves that stuff. So excited. Hope I get them before this. Yeah, make sure you do, because once they get ripe, man, those critters are going to go after them. But if I wear my glasses, I'm a badass. Yeah. I had to take them off tonight. I had them on early before I streamed. Was doing some work. I figured I'd give myself a break. Sometimes the glasses get to me too. But yeah, I do like my glasses. I'm waiting. I have to go get them. I'm due for a new eye appointment, so I think I'll get a different pair. I like the yellow, but I think I'm going to get a regular pair. And I have to watch the frames. I'm highly allergic to nickel. That's why I have to watch wearing these, is because they do have nickel in them, and I get a reaction on my nose. So basically, the only time I use this is if I'm out, because they're protective, that the whole works, plus the prescription. But I appreciate it, really. Yeah, I had to just take a break from them. Plus, Edna likes to see my blue eyes once in a while. Got to please the women. I have fresh tomatoes. I put a 40. Now you sound like my ex, Edna, there. I mean, we grew so many types of tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, every type of tomato you could grow. And she would make something out of every one of them. Hey, a late night pizza. Nothing wrong with that, Sassy. We had pizza last night before the stream. And then I finished it off after the stream. He's trying to hide. He's trying to hide when he wears his glasses. Yeah. Well, maybe a little bit. He keeps still trying to get in here, Edna. I know you are. As if he could fool me, bless his heart. No, I can't fool you, honey. I know that. You and Gemma. I think Cindy's getting there too. Lotus, I can't fool Lotus. That's where that woman calls me out of nowhere. Are you okay? Text me. I heard you're sick. You better not be sick. I just had my first fried green tomato yesterday. Ooh, see, my dad loves that stuff, and my mom did too. I just couldn't get into it. It's just not my thing. Edna, quit laughing at me. Right now, we're working on it, Ron. She's getting back in the swing of things. He just went to school this week, so you get used to the new schedule. She does have a video coming out at 11, an upload, I believe, at 11 on Monday, and I believe it's a missing person case. She'll let us know more about that tomorrow. Just watch for YouTube or Facebook. Then I will be here Wednesday for spooky time. And then plus Pixie's Heart wouldn't stream Thursday night because I sit in the background of her streams and kind of oversees things. And she knew I was hurting, so she made me. I actually wanted to do it because I was having such a bad day that day because I thought I'd take my mind off. But the girls, her and Gemma, said, "No, you're taking the night off." So I'm thinking she'll stream this Thursday. She'll be here at 8 if she does. And then Gemma and me on Friday. And then I believe the following Tuesday, and then I'll be here, of course, for Gemma's replays on Saturday. And I think either not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday or the Tuesday after that, we go back to Tuesday Talks at 1. And then she's talking about having a couple. She wants to live stream more, so expect more live streams. And we're going to try to start live streaming on Rumble too. So, folks, if you have Rumble, keep an eye on Rumble. We'll let you folks know when we start streaming on Rumble too. She wants to have a girls paranormal group, which I think is cool. We should get on some of you women on here and talk about paranormal stuff and spirituality and all that. But she has plans, and we have Ryan and her are working on interviews, so just stay tuned. She's got a whole thing ready to rock, so it's just a matter of getting them implemented and moving, and I'm staying on her about it. So yeah, see, a lot of people like green fried tomatoes. Just couldn't get into them. I tried them once and it just wasn't my thing. That's like fried okra. My dad loves fried okra. I just can't get into it. Hey, Latro. Saw Miss Pixie's video last time on Thursday night. She has got a good vibe. Yes, Miss Pixie is a lovely lady. She usually does every other Thursday because her and Gemma made me kind of stay in bed Thursday night, last Thursday. Thursday and Wednesday were not good days. So they made me kind of stay in bed. So I'm hoping Pixie will be here this Thursday at 8 because you folks love her. A lot of people love her when she comes in. She does have an excellent vibe. She's a smart lady. So, yeah, it's always good. So, yeah, please make sure you keep checking her out. Leave her a message in the comments after. Yeah, Pixie is wonderful. She was yelling at Gemma because I wouldn't sit and I wouldn't chill out. That's the way I am. Like I said, I don't like limitations. I don't like limiting myself or being put in limitations, and they caught up with me. I can't get into fried okra. I'm unsubscribed. I'm sorry. I've tried. And it's sad, really, because I love mushrooms. I love the smell of them. But every time I eat mushrooms, I get sick. So it's like, and okra was just one of those things. They smell so good cooking and stuff. But every time I eat it, just somebody doesn't agree with me. Now, my dad, man, he'll sit there and eat a whole thing of it, which is fine. When I worked at Bonanza, we had all that stuff on the salad bar. So I would try everything on the salad bar. So I can actually say, well, that's all right if you like that kind of thing. They kind of made us do it. And I kind of got used to doing it, trying everything on the menu. So I knew it was good or not. Thank you, Sassy. And I'm sure she saw it. I'll make sure she sees it if she doesn't. But yeah, she has great vibe. She's such a lovely lady. The only fried okra I could eat was Miss Fowler. Otherwise, it's a slug to me. Ooh, a vegetable slug. Ooh, that don't even sound right. We're talking about food again. I was looking at Blueberry and Frankenberry and all them. Man, they changed those cereals from the originals. I was so bummed. I was going to give me a box of Blueberry and Frankenberry today at the store, and I didn't like what they had. They changed it all. It is. It is. Okay, I hadn't gone back to look at comments on Pixies. I want her to go back and look at them. It's Gemma's channel, so those two women pretty good, just taking care of that stuff. And you see me, I leave comments everywhere when I can. But oh, cool! I'm glad she did. I'll go look at it, and I appreciate that. And I'm sure she does too. Sometimes she gets a little doubtful about doing it, but we tell her, man, she's loved. People love watching her. You made a batch of black jalapenos. You too, Ron. You have a wonderful night and have a wonderful Sunday. Hopefully, we'll see you Monday. If not, Wednesday night. If not, Thursday for Pixie if she's here. But have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful start. Be well. Be safe. And I hope your Sunday is going to be as beautiful as it is going to be here. So, night, Ron. Have a wonderful one, sir. Okay, really, hopefully I'll still be here. I don't know how much longer I'm going to last. But I'm enjoying myself right now, so I'm not rushing. What time we got? Oh, we're only 2:19. I might go to 2:30. I might go to 3. See how I feel. Everybody was telling me, my dad said, don't push it tonight, please, son. I don't need to be scraping you off the ground tomorrow. You're not going to be scraping me off the ground. I'm a lot healthier than that. But I got to admit, the last 2 weeks did take a toll on me. It's funny because you do, when you get older, it does take a little bit to snap back. I won't, hon. I promise. Like, man, I've been doing extra Tai Chi. I've been doing a little extra exercises to get myself back in the groove again. That's what coffee's for. And I agree with that, Latro. Believe me. There's only 3 things I drink in life: water, milk, and coffee. And every so often, very so often, pop. And every so often, you might see me have a. If you see me drinking a can of pop, it's just because I'm sick of the other 3 for right now. But I do. I drink a lot of water. I do like tea. I like lemonade tea. So I make lemonade tea once in a while. You know, half and half. The Arnold. Don't ask me to say it because I can't. Because of the R's and the way I've been talking lately. I'll just destroy Arnold's name. But yeah, I'm a coffee drinker, big time. But that was from all the years of restaurant business. And Bonanza. I think I even still have a Bonanza mug around here somewhere. Somebody offered me money for it. I have a couple, actually. We switched to flavored soda water with no sweet. You know, that's what I'm trying to get my son to do, Latro. He drinks a lot of pop, a lot of Mountain Dew. And I've been trying to, and him and my dad, it's like every other male in his family have like major stomach problems. And my son is just like my dad. They both have horrible stomach problems. And my stomach problems is usually not the stomach, it's my esophagus. But yeah, and he drinks a lot of pop. But I'm like, dude, you got to slow down. Just eating. I mean, you ever poured a Pepsi on top of bologna or a Coke on top of bologna? It eats right through it. So, yes, it is very critical. Yeah, I make it a point to take some self-time. I call it me time. Sit back and relax and watch the world spin time. Yeah, that sounds about right. And that's almost as what I put in my cup of coffee. No, just kidding. I used to be like, people would freak out. I'd pour like this much sugar in the bottom of my cup, then pour the coffee in. I don't do that too much anymore. Yeah, I tell him that. You know, and he used to like those like Gemma. He likes those, power drinks. And he finally got off of those. But he does love his Mountain Dew. He loves his Dr. Pepper. So yeah, he's learning. And that stuff, and pop is getting expensive. Well, then again, everything's getting expensive. Love drinking lemon water first thing in the morning. Actually, I used to drink lemon tea in the morning. I may go back to doing that. It did help my throat. In fact, that's not a bad idea. I may go back to doing that. I even still have some. To me, green tea is just weak. I don't mind it, but yes, and that is so true. Juvenile diabetes is horrible right now. Salt and sugar in our foods. That's because it's processed foods. That's what I'm trying to get these. Well, Dad lived alone. Well, he lived with my younger brother before he booted him, and then he passed. They only made frozen dinners and stuff. After when my mom got sick, That's all they were eating, like frozen dinners and stuff. So it took me a while to, get him back to regular food, and he was so happy. But it does mess up your stomach too. Yeah, that's what I tried to tell him. So I've been getting him because my dad loves the green tea. So I've been getting him the decaffeinated, but really decaf is not really decaf because there's still caffeine in it, just not as much. I just don't really tell you that. Diabetes comes from the seed oils and highly processed carbs. Yep. It's also, a malfunction of the liver and the kidneys. Some diabetes is not always caused by foods, but nowadays most of it is. Yes, I totally agree with you, Sassy. Mushroom coffee? Ooh, that sounds interesting. But see, there's again, every time I try mushrooms, I get sick. And it sucks. Because I love the smell of sauteed mushrooms and stuff like that. When mushrooms cook, man, my tummy rumbles and I want to eat them. And every time I do, but is it good? And I've never heard of mushroom coffee. Forgive me, I haven't. So, I know you love coffee. I remember the day when we were going to get coffee when we were in the stream and chat. I'll have to try it just to see if my stomach can deal with it. Yeah, I know, Atra. But the thing is, my doctor wants me to try the lion's mane, which I really think would be beneficial for me and my Tourette's. But the problem is, we don't know how I'll react to it. Because lion mane is probably one of the best mushrooms out there to use for neurological issues and stuff like that, memory. And that's true. You have no taste at the moment. I forgot. You can beat me later. I still have some of the chop power from. Oh yeah. Well, I'll see. Good night, hon. Oh, yes, good Lord, willing, you'll see me too. You just take care of yourself. Keep an eye. Let me know. Cindy, don't be afraid to message me on Facebook and keep me up to date. Okay? You yell anytime, sweetie, and I mean that. If I don't answer right away, just give me a little bit. It does have lion's mane in it. I would like to try it because we don't know. See, I want to try it because of the certain properties of lion's mane. But Cindy, please have a wonderful day. Take a little time to yourself. Get yourself kind of rested up. I've kept him in my prayers for you. So please just keep us up to date, all right? Love you much. And much love to you, dear. Alzheimer's is sometimes called type 3 diabetes. Now, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah, mushrooms, there's a lot of benefits from mushrooms. Problem is, just like I said, every time I try any mushroom, I get sick. But I really want to try his lion's mane because I've done my research on that particular mushroom, and I think it'd do me a lot of good if I get it to take it regularly. Somebody said try pill form, but I'm skeptic on taking stuff like in pill form, unless I actually see them grind it up and put it in the pill. You know what I'm saying? Because when you start mixing stuff to make pills, are you really getting the same thing as taking it naturally? And if you can get a natural pill like that, that'd be awesome. And I believe there is, but I haven't been able to find them. Somebody knows where they're at. Let me know, because I want to try this stuff, but I am a little worried about how I react because I have such a weird thing with mushrooms. Dude, I love the smell when they cook. I love everything about them. But every time I eat them, I get sick. Yes, we are praying for you, Cindy, if you're still listening. I keep you in my prayers all the time. There's a type of 1.5 diabetes where T2 loses beta cells. Yeah, I know about that. My dad is a diabetic. He was on insulin. He's not anymore, but he was. They believe he might have even had juvenile diabetes and didn't even know it until his later years. If you're allergic to mushroom, I don't think I'm allergic to it. I just don't know. See, that's the thing. I've done an allergy test. It doesn't come up. But yeah, every time I eat them, I get sick. So we're trying to figure out, is it certain type of mushrooms? Is it the way they cook them? It doesn't mean I give up on them because I still try them. I stopped in for a month. I could tell the difference and started using it again. I use Raz. Oh, that's true. Most of the energy it needs, so when it cut carbs, it goes into a chemo. The brain can run on the. You all are in my prayers. I will recommend Raz. Oh, okay. I'll have to write that down, Edna. Huh. Got it. I'm also going to check out mushroom coffee too. Maybe, I mean, it's not like I get like hives or anything. I get sick. And it's not like bad sick. Now, see, I don't mind game meat at all. I've had my share of a little bit of everything. I've had possum. I've had squirrel. I've had pigeon. I've almost duck, pheasant, deer, bison, reindeer. I've had bear. Yeah, there's so many diets. I think when it comes to diet, you use the diet that works best for you. But the key is not to starve yourself or put your body through unnecessary. Once you set a tone, it should acclimate itself. Taking on any more glucose, there's too much. Yes. What we eat can heal us or hurt us. Yes, that is very true. Yeah, especially now because, folks, I don't. I have a friend who's a health inspector for big corps. I'm telling you, if you'd see how some of this food is made, especially like mac and cheese, stuff like that, you wouldn't touch it. I mean, I'm at the point now when you ask these guys, we make our mac and cheese homemade now. Every so often, I keep a couple boxes because the boy likes it when he comes home. He wants a quick eat, and I try to make stuff to where we have leftovers. But Goofy upstairs not a big leftover guy, which I can never figure out. But when I make stuff, because it's only us three guys, I make enough to last a couple days. Like the other day, I made a big slow cooker full of beef stew, and I break it down, keep one in the refrigerator and one in the freezer. Me and Dad eat that stuff for lunch and stuff. It's good. It's healthy. It's all fresh. Meat we can get from butcher, and all the vegetables are fresh from the ex. So yeah, Yeah, I tried to tell my dad loves the Chick-fil-A mac and cheese, and I said, dude, do you know how much stuff is in that? I haven't had bear, but I've heard, you've had squirrel. Yeah, I wish I had the time to make everything by scratch. My mom, what bummed me out was when she passed, I believe one of my sister-in-laws took all of her cookbooks and all her cooking recipes. Now, I have a few of her cookie recipes that she does for Christmas, but I gave them to Tina, not thinking I'd ever use them. Now I'm here with all the stuff to cook with, and so she's supposed to write them all down and send them to me. Well, copy them and send them back to me. Yeah, I love beef stew. I make a good beef stew too. I also make a good Yankee roast. They love my roast. Yeah, I'm going to ask for copies because my mom made chocolate crinkles that were just out of this world. Um, and I'm trying to get my ex. She makes the best no bakes, and I love no bakes like to the end. Those are like my favorite cookie, and she nails it every time, and I always screw them up. So, but yeah, I want the cookbooks my mom had. I just like now I've learned how to make her. I had to re I had to dig out a recipe that I had of hers where she makes Salisbury steak, and we call them cube steaks. And she does a really good job, and they just literally melt in your mouth. And I finally got it down. And these guys, I made 5 of them, and they were gone that night. I mean, both those guys wolfed them down. They literally melted in your mouth. It was so good. They are trying to reintroduce elk. Now, I've had elk. It's animals and parts of. Yeah, they are trying to. I'll tell you what, and I hate to be mean, but the deer population in this neighborhood right now is way out of control. And they used to come in, and what they do is they shut off along the river, and they'd hire, they'd let hunters would go sign up, and they'd pick like 6 of them, and they'd be allowed to keep 1 deer for themselves, and then everything else that they got would be butchered and given to soup kitchens and homeless shelters for them to fix for food. I don't know why they stopped doing it. Because the population now is so bad. I mean, I literally got up there in the morning. You got to understand, I'm just on the outskirts of Columbus. I mean, I'm 20 minutes tops from OSU campus downtown. And I literally woke up the other morning. There must have been 30 deer standing in our street. I'd never seen that many deer in this neighborhood. I can cook versions to taste just like a roast, beef roast. Venison. I love venison, but I'm picky because my favorite thing to make with all. Oh, hello, Rainwater. How you doing? Thank you for stopping in. I'm glad you stopped in and at least say hello. Um, I love hunter stew. My uncle, excuse me one sec. My uncle used to make a killer hunter stew. He would throw rabbit in it, venison, the whole kit and caboodle. This thing would be a pot, just stew, thick, good gravy. Oh, it was always so good, fresh veggies. Oh, but it would have literally everything in it, and it was always so good. Yeah, well, that's part of it too. That's all I can say is Tuesday. Yeah, that's probably a little bit of right now, and it's probably not. It's probably agitating me. But yes, I'm ready. Because if that don't work, I am going cold turkey again. I'll just bite the bullet. You're going to make me live up to that, aren't you, Edna? You'll be my support. And I appreciate that. But yeah, I'd rather eat something I've gone out and hunted myself than what I see. I mean, it's like I go to the store. I used to love Kroger's meats. I don't even like that anymore. I go to Myers now. It looks so much better. There's a big difference. I appreciate that, Edna. You can be my support. You can stay on me. That's fine. Actually, I appreciate it more than you realize. So I hope everybody coming and going is having a good weekend. I like to announce, say something to the folks that hide out and ghost in the background. Appreciate you stopping in and checking us out. Saturday nights are pretty much Gemma's replays and then just blah, blah, blah after. We love having you. Thank you for stopping in. Hang out if you like. I'll probably go on I'll probably take it till 3 and then I'll call it a night. I'm going to sleep in a little bit tomorrow and not rush out. Yeah, I know I can do it. I don't have that problem. It's a vice that I enjoy. You know what I'm saying, Edna? But yeah, with everything that happened over the last couple of weeks, my doctor said, dude, you got to give it up. I know you like your coffin nails. I know. He calls it my thumb when it comes to Tourette's and the tremors because, you're getting a rocking and fidgeting. And so, yep, I just got to find another way to work on that energy. I used to be able to draw, but the tremors are so bad. I still try to. This is not as good as it used to be. But I don't give up. I never give up. Yeah, I know you're not the only one either. I've got a couple other people, including my kids. So I appreciate it. I always tell people, what's the difference? I don't know how much longer I'm going to be around anyways. Heck, my dad's liable to outlive me. I've already been told that a couple times. Are you on muscle relaxers? No. I don't do that stuff. Now, was it Monday? No, Tuesday. I did a couple only because my gut was so tight and everything, my whole body was like all rigid. It was bad. The day gave me a couple shots, and that was one of them. But I don't like taking that stuff. No, actually, I would love to, but no, see, I don't hunt. I have friends that do it, and I just get the leftovers, which is fine with me. But I have family, and everybody in the family is a hunter. Most of my relatives are from Chillicothe, further down south of Ohio, all along the Appalachian Mountains. So hunting is like, why go hunt when I can just wait? And within a month, like deer season, by the end of the deer seasons, I'm getting calls. Do you want some venison? Do you want this? Do you want that? I have an uncle that raised rabbits just to make rabbit. So, yeah. So I can hunt if I need to. I'm not bad with a gun. Actually, I'm a pretty good sniper. And that's all I'll say there. I only have 3 of my 9 lives left. Honey, I don't even know if I have that many times. You got to think, how many times I had near-death experiences? And these guys don't even know about half. 6, 5 now. 5 times. You figure the last time was with the experimental drug they tried to put me on. So, yeah, it's 5 times now. That's insane. But see, everybody talks about these like, oh, I was dead for 3 minutes. I was gone for 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I think my longest one was maybe 3 minutes. They weren't very long, but man, when you're gone, it feels like you're gone forever. And then all of a sudden it's weird. But then again, Edna, you should know that. And everybody's a little different. And then there's a lot of people with a lot to say. So I don't know how many lives I lost count a long time ago. All I know is I'm pretty sure if I go next time, I ain't coming back. Squirrel's not as gamey as Rabbit. Rabbit to me was like, it was funny because the first time I had Rabbit, I would think I was like 7 years old. And my uncle down in Chillicothe, they had chicken on the table. I thought I was eating a leg. This is really good but greasy chicken. He goes, that's a rabbit. And I go, rabbit? He goes, I mean the ones out in the back. He goes, yeah. I kind of cried, and then I started eating again. But to me, rabbit's greasy. Squirrel was a little greasy, but not as bad. Now, see, my dad doesn't like duck, and I like duck. My duck's a little greasy, a little gamey, but you add a little orange sauce to it and cook it right, man, it's really good. Kind of tastes like chicken, but a lot of stuff tastes like chicken, which amazes me. Was chicken the universal flavor or something for a lot of stuff? Because I've had a lot of stuff and went, that tastes like chicken. I had rattlesnake once, and it tasted like chicken. Oh, you don't like duck either? Yeah, he wasn't a big fan of duck. I told him I'd fix a duck because me and the ex used to make a duck every New Year's, and I'd make it with orange sauce, orange glaze. And it was always really good. And in fact, they would pick that bird clean. Dad, nope, he didn't want nothing to do with them. I like chicken thighs. Actually been a fan of the thigh for a long time. I was on live. Yeah, then. Yeah, yours was an interesting one. And I'm going back. I'm sorry, I was going back and reading. So I know I missed some. Did you feel scared? You can tell her, Edna. When I had my NDE, I was past the point of high risk, or so I thought. Ooh. I think my longest was 3 minutes, but they always responded pretty quickly. Now, the last time, I think that was the longest was 3 minutes, maybe almost 4. I don't really know the whole time. I've heard 3, I heard 4. All I know was when I came to, I was in a hallway being wheeled down while they were hitting me. So, well, in the hallway when they were hitting me, because that's the one thing I remembered all times, all but once, was feeling that and bright light, and then, hello, he's back. No, Sassy, I didn't even know what was going on. Yeah, a lot of times you don't. The first 2 times I did, and after that I did. Last thing I remember was being in an ambulance. I was still seeing the inside of my hospital room. It was superimposed, like I was floating, like a floating movie screen. Ooh, that's interesting. I always go from darkness, then I'm standing in my valley. It's like my holding point or something. That's where I go when some people say I lucid dreaming or I astral projecting. Either one, I don't care. It's what I've done since I was a kid, especially when I'm in a bad way physically and I haven't slept for days. But I always seem to end up in that valley. But there's been the last 2 times that wasn't the case. I ended up in brightness. But it's always the same voice. Always the same voice that talks to me. You know, it's like my lady in the light. But her voice is a little different, and she doesn't talk. Lady in the light doesn't talk to me. She sings to me. She sings what she says. It's really weird, but yet soothing to me. But yeah, that's pretty wild, Latra. I can almost see that kind of, I can almost visualize that for some reason. I have a suspicion that's the same setup people report having a life. Yeah, kind of. Can't understand dreams. Dreams are interesting. Everybody has an interpretation for certain dreams, and some interpretations are pretty much the same to wherever you go. Dreams are basically just a craziness that goes on in your head when you're shut down, and it's just running through all of its filing, and the craziness of your day. Sometimes they mean something, sometimes they don't. I personally think when you have vivid dreams, or see things that may be possible, you know, like seeing the future or having these real intense, weird dreams that may come true, like deja vu or something. Those I think you're meant to have, and they're as warnings or try to tell you something. And then the most dreams I think are just craziness. But dreams are a touchy subject because there are hundreds of books on dreams. Excuse me. So when you understand me, let me understand, because ever since I was young, because I suffer from dreads. We didn't know it was dreads then. I rock in my sleep really violently. I break beds. I still do it to this day. And I noticed when I was younger, I always thought it was astral projecting. Everybody says, oh, you have this line tethered to you. I don't ever remember a line. I don't ever remember having some kind of line tethered to me. So they go, oh, you must be a lucid dreaming, or all I know is I can literally wake up. Well, I'm not awake. I literally look down and can see myself sleeping and rocking. And I just go off in my own little way. And I'm very aware. And I'll come back. It's weird. It's hard to explain. In fact, that's how I met the lady in the light for the first time, because at first I thought maybe she was a demon or something. It took me a while to make sure that this thing wasn't something bad. And she knew I didn't trust her at first. Only because I've looked a demon in her face. And sometimes that demon, you knew it was a demon, but there are demons out there you look at and you may not realize it's a demon until it's too late. For me, it was nothing blacker than black. No white light, nothing. Okay, I do Ghost. Have you tried a mattress on the floor, Ghost? Dude, honey, we've tried everything. Believe me, we've tried everything. Actually, when I was young, I had broke the crib. I broke the second crib. I tipped it over. They thought I had really messed myself up. I'm surprised I didn't get hurt. And they actually put my mattress on the floor. And they would find me off the mattress, all rolled up in my blankets, still rocking like on the floor. So yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like right now I got my bed over here, and it's like in the middle of the room by the door, so I can hear it pop, because he's been having dreams and getting up and falling, sleepwalking, which is unusual for him. So I put my bed close to the door so I can hear him. But now I wake up and I have to move the bed from the door or from my dresser on the other side. I literally scoot it. I don't know how I don't wake these guys up. I really don't. I think you control it. I think you control it well. I try. Now, when I'm awake, it's not too bad. As long as I stay moving and stay active, I'm good. But as soon as I try to sit down and relax, if I'm not paying attention, I mean, I've had it happen in stores, I mean, in restaurants, and people yell at me, "What are you doing? What's wrong with you?" It's not as bad now. Back in the day, it was pretty bad because people would say, "Why do you, like I couldn't go, I'd had to watch going to the movie theater because I'd get the whole row rock if I wasn't paying attention. People would go, "Who's rocking?" I mean, I laugh at it because it is kind of fun. But people are a little cooler about it now that, everybody knows about Parkinson's and Tourette's and all these, movement disorders. What'd you say here, Latro? But I do appreciate, I do try, and I do. During that same hospital stay, I had a weekend nurse come in and that I swear was an android or an alien, unreal dexterity, emotions focus, fussing with my equipment, Asian. I don't know. I've had some weird nurses too, dude, over the years. And believe me, I've spent my share in the hospital, especially over the last 10 years, off and on. No, all through my life, but definitely more over the last 10 years. And I've had some really weird nurses. And I've had some really weird doctors too. Doctors that come in and, work in the hospital and they come in and check on you for your doctor and stuff. I've had some of those guys. I was like, I hope that guy doesn't come. Even the clothes were odd. Ooh. Now that makes it kind of creepy there, dude. Did Ghost freeze? Yep. Did I freeze? No, I didn't. Did I freeze? Did I freeze there for a second? Mm-hmm. I'm watching both because I'm in YouTube. I may turn it off though. It's kind of weird seeing me in two screens. Sometimes Sydney's Gemma says this too, that sometimes when she watches it and I stop, it looks like I froze. Actually, I think I do personally kind of freeze there for a second or two because sometimes during my tremors, my muscles get real stiff. And it does feel like I'm freezing, like I froze. But I never say anything about it because I don't think it's noticeable because I never know how long it lasts. So maybe that's what you're seeing. Or I could have froze. Internet's been kind of glitchy. There's a glitch in the matrix. I'm so tired of hearing that. Everything's a glitch. I saw a lizard type people sitting in rows life. I was in a spaceship or something. Yes. I remember you talking about this. Now, see, here's the thing. Well, I think most of the people, I think Ed, and a couple other people that come and go out of here know. I don't believe in aliens. I believe what people see are fallen angels and the Nephilim. There's certain things that weren't found to this earth when it was flooded. And there's a lot more to that story than people realize too. But anyways, now I'm not saying there's not aliens. I'm just saying I personally don't think what they are. I personally believe they're not what people think they are. And they're a lot worse. I don't think there's good ones. But, that's my opinion. Though I have good reasons, I've seen Tic Tacs. I've seen my share of UFOs. So, and the lizard people, the reptilians, they're a big myth, though. They're a big thing that's been around for a long time. Them and the ant people. There's a bar up in Cleveland we call the Winking Lizard. Aha! Actually, I think I know where that's at. You have a friend. We used to go to the Cleveland games all the time. It's been a while. I'm about due to go to a game. I'm not a big football fan like I used to be. It's hard to keep up with the games. I'm too busy all the time. Maybe it'll be do me some good to sit down once in a while and start watching football just to relax. Yeah, he was a Polish descent. So his family was big. Dan's family was big. His mom's family was really big in Cleveland. They ran an upholstery, furniture upholstery, and also ran Cadillac dealerships. And but we go up there, man. They take us to all these Polish restaurants. Oh, good food. Good question. But I think that was all part of what you were going through, right, Edna, during that time? Was you just woke up in the hospital, right? Is what I think happened to her. Edna, can you answer that? If I remember right, you said that was all when that was all going on. And that was right after your crazy dream with that fight you had. And you need to let me know more about that hooded character you saw too. Did you say you saw him again? You need to send me an email on that. Because didn't you say the other night you saw him again? Which is interesting. Nope, she's going to bed. Night, everyone. She's blanking out. Yeah, I think it's a good time to call tonight. Edna's going to call it for me. Yeah, I think I'm getting tired too. It's 3:02. I said I'd take it to 3. Edna's calling it for us tonight. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Edna, for hanging with me tonight. Everybody, thank you. Bless you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Rest of your night, morning. Have a wonderful Sunday. Hopefully, I'll see you live when she does her upload video for Monday at 11. I believe it's Monday at 11. Like I said, stay tuned. Keep an eye on YouTube tomorrow. Join. Yeah, I think I'm going to go join the snoring dog too. I'll probably pace for an hour, but I need to get up and move. So everybody have a wonderful night. Remember, I believe she has an upload Monday at 11. I'll be here Wednesday night for a spooky time at midnight. Hopefully, I believe Pixie will be, I want to say for sure, but Pixie may be streaming Thursday at 8 ET time. So please, if she streams, join us. And then me and Gemma and I on Friday at 7:15 for Oracles. And then me Saturday. And then hopefully the new stuff will start kicking in the following week with Tuesday Talk at 1 and everything. And we'll keep you updated. I'm staying on her about it. She's really excited about some stuff she's got planned. So, okay, folks, take care. Have a wonderful Sunday. Have a good beginning of the week. I hope I see you folks on the flip side of Monday at 11. Love you guys. Thank you all for hanging with me and spending time with me. Be blessed. Be well. Peace out. And again, I'll see you.